Good morning, everyone on the call.
Hi,
Can you?
good morning. I can hear you from my end.
All right. Thank you so very much. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Brilliant Tutorials. My name is Engineer Peter Ogunbowale, and I'll be your moderator for today's orientation program for the students. On behalf of Brilliant Tutorials College and Tutorial Center, I hereby call this meeting to order and the program can operate. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome to the program. So first, we are starting with the opening prayer. The opening prayer will be taking the Nigeria third stanza of the national anthem. We'll recite it at the count of three. Just allow me project and follow appropriately. And I hope I'm not echoing, please, because I joined with two of my devices. So I want to be very sure that my voice is not echoing.
Oh, you're not echoing.
All right. Thank you so very much. All right, please, wherever you are, if you can rise, please kindly do so. For the Nigeria first stanza of the national anthem, take it as our opening prayer for today. At the count of 1, 2, 3, I'll lead the citation. 1, 2, 3. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. All right, without wasting so much of our time, maybe proceed item on the agenda. Please let me just begin submit. All right, so ladies and gentlemen on this call and professional colleagues, please be informed that we have commenced appropriately and this meeting being recorded. Staying in the meeting means you consent for the meeting. And please, just in case you have any question because of the section, please you can leave your question on the chat box, or you can wait till the Q&A section where we'll take question and answer from the participant on the call. And please we will also encourage our participants to please mute their mic to avoid distraction and interruption in the meeting. Thank you so much for your cooperation. I do hope that we'll have a lovely experience in this program this morning. Thank you so much. So the opening remark, well, Amy, you could tell us why we are here this morning. Brilliant Tutorial Center, it's one of the that was extramural classes for MBA students. Just like the days we are all in secondary school. Normally when you go to school, you do your set to at what time you go to school. Some people you know that the school usually do extra classes for people. But this is not from the school now. You know, some parents also to ensure that their students are very well grounded in the subject. They get teachers to teach the students, to give them, support as regard the courses that they are taking in the classes for them to better understand what they are being taught classroom. And that is the same thing at college. They help MBA students, helps to have a full grasp of what classes. It's not as if the lecturer are not doing that. They are doing their job. But then, some of us we are from different life, we are from professions, and our level of understanding differs. So Brennas will help you to understand some concepts that you were not formally exposed to for now. So say like an engineer, I've not done accounting, not my background, so I would need support in that regard. And Brenna's tutorial has been doing this for years, and that is what they specialize in. They will take you through all the courses that you take in your various classes. And then they will ensure that you are fully equipped for examination and then for life generally. So once again, I want to welcome you all to this section. Let me quickly give you an MBA overview. I hope you can still hear me, please, so I don't just keep talking and I believe that people are hearing me. Please, can you confirm you can still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
All right, thank you so very much. So let me give you an MBA overview. So MBA program is the same, it's a professional master's. It's different from the regular academic masters that you have. You have other academic masters like MSc in finance, but MBA is professional. So professional in the sense that it is not the regular academic um what do I call it now? Program. Yes, so it's a professional master's, and that is why it's a bit different, even though it still maintains the same academic setting. So for many of you, I want to first congratulate you on your admission to a school. The journey is just starting, and there's so much that's ahead of you. So let me just quickly walk you through, what the program looks like. So the school practically, the University of Lagos practically run to, uh, basically run to program for the MBA. That is the part-time and the full-time. So for the full-time, they have their classes in the morning. Their classes is usually between 10 to 2. Sometimes it could be 4. And in some cases, sorry, please, excuse me. And in some cases they could have classes outside that, but normally usually between 10 to 2, but some cases they could have classes outside that time frame due to arrangement between the students and the lecturers. For the part-time, and the classes are usually Monday to Thursday. So you have your classes in the morning 10 to 2 p.m. That's for the full-time Monday to Thursday. But for the part-time, their classes usually hold in the evening, and their classes are between 6 to 8 p.m. evening. So let me just explain a little bit of different programs. For the full-time student, you have to do more physical classes, especially in your year one, first semester. By the time you get to second semester, you also still continue with your physical classes. Most of the lecturer might now have a preference for online classes. So I'm just saying all of this to get your mind prepared. And for the full time as well, for the year one, they will do more physical classes. But second semester, they'll be having more of online classes. But though it's a hybrid program, you do both physical and online classes. This based on the arrangement the lecturer has with the students. So for the full time as well, the program between the full-time and part-time, for full-time, they only have just one class, or full-time may be in one class. But for the part-time students, they are divided into stream for management and coordination purposes. Both stream one, you usually, for some of you that have started their registration, you'll be hearing stream one, stream two, stream three. So that is done to ensure that there is proper coordination. And what do I mean? The school does not have the facility to accommodate the part-time number in one class. So to make things easier for them, they decided to divide into two different streams such that it's easier to manage and work with the number in a stream. All of you are running one and the same program, both the part-time and full-time students. So say for example, you people that are in part-time or that you got admission for part-time, for people in stream one, stream two, stream three. So this is how it works. If you're having a physical class, we have different halls in the building. So for stream one, you could be having your ACC 810 in, let's say, room 202. For stream 2, they will not have ACC that same day. Their own could be FIN 810. So all of you will have your timetable, but we are doing the same one and the same program. So for stream 3, they will not have FIN 810 that same day because the lecturers are maybe like say 4 or 5 per course. So if stream 1 is doing ACC day 1, stream 2 will be doing FIN 810. I'm just using this for illustration purposes, so it's not, you have your timetable, so you will know when you have your classes and which course you are going to be taking that day. So for stream 3 now, they also take another course, for the same day, but three of you use different all for coordination and management purposes, like I stated earlier. But the difference between full-time and part-time is for full-time, your program duration is for 16 months, and that is 1.5 years. But for part-time is 2 years calendar. So even though for full time, you'll be taking more courses in your first semester. You'll be taking 7 courses, while your part-time counterpart will be taking 5 courses for first semester. Second semester, full time will take 6 courses, while part-time students will maintain the 5 courses. Third semester for the full-time students, you have to take say minimum of 7 courses again. Yes, you take 7 courses again for full time. You have 3 compulsory courses that you're going to be taking for your third semester. Then you have 4 specialization courses. For the second year, first semester, for the part-time, they will also maintain their 5 courses. Why you will be battling with your project, or if you are so good you can manage your project with your second year, first semester, why the part-time students will be in their specialization year in the year 2 second semester. So specialization year, you have an option of taking minimum of 4 courses per specialization. That's the minimum you can take. So you can take 5, you can take 6, you can take 7 if you do wish. But for the part-time, I think the maximum they can take now is 5 because of the timetable. So they might not be able to, though 2 classes might be running at the same time in one day, but I don't know how you want to join 2 classes together. So they are constrained to take 5 courses. But for full time, you can do more if you have the capacity or the power to say you want to take more courses. So why do you take more courses? You take more courses at your specialization year to either boost your CGPA. That's the major reason why people do, or you want to increase your knowledge bank. So for some of you in specialization that you don't want to do 4, you can do 5 because you want to increase your knowledge bank or you want to increase your CGPA. But also note that the same way you take more courses to boost your CGPA, it also have the same repercussion. Just in case you didn't have A in those courses, it will also greatly affect your CGPA. So just note that and keep that at the back of your mind. But if you are certain that you have A in those courses, why not? You can take more courses to boost. If your possible purpose is to boost your CGPA, you can take more courses. During the course of the program, I will share further details with us as regard the MBA program. I think I should stop now and call on the pioneer and the owner of the Brainer Tutorial Center, Professor Jude Amici, for his welcome address. Thank you so much. Prof, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the effort you are putting to ensure that this seminar. Thank you so much. So I want to use this opportunity to, on behalf of the management of Brainers Consult, to welcome everyone. I want to congratulate you for your admission into this prestigious university. You are really welcome. You're really welcome. And I want to also use this opportunity to encourage you guys to focus, just remain disciplined, be committed, take your studies serious, and also make use of every opportunity, every information you have to ensure that this your program is a success. And I assure you that within our capacity as Brainers Consults, we will also ensure that make the environment conducive and also put in effort so that you can complete your program successfully. Thank you and welcome. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, Professor Jude Amici, as we popularly call him. Thank you so much for that word of encouragement. Would like to move to the next item on the agenda. I would like to invite Uchenna Ewa Uche, a very good friend. Lest I forget, both of us just convocated just before yesterday, just in case you want to say congratulations to us. We are the class of 2025, which is in part-time, while I am in full-time. We are the same set. I would like to call on Uche to take us further into this section. You'll be taking us through MBA relevance to career development and professional growth. Uche is a very good friend, and he's so sound in he did finance specialization, and trust me, he's a great guy. He's an engineer like me too. Uche, may I please invite you to have the floor? Thank you so very much.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Peter. Before I start, I would like to use this medium to say a very big thank you to Prof. Profile. I couldn't see you on the convocation day, although I heard you came, but I think that I was engaged. So I'd like to say a big thank you to you for all your efforts, not just in the regular tutorials. I like to be friends with my teachers also. So on personal levels also, I always reached out to you and you validated my thoughts and helped to kind of guide me. Thank you so, so much, and God bless you. Thank you, Peter. Peter is a very good friend, and I don't know, many of us might not know Peter. He was also the outgoing vice president, and he did a lot of work to get our MBA association working effectively. I can also see on the call, I saw my very good friend yesterday. Yesterday is also on the call here. And this is what I'm going to be talking about. Beyond all the academics and all that we're going to be doing here, is good to sort of make lifelong friends. Yesterday, congratulations once again. Yesterday made a distinction. Congratulations. And yesterday was really my very, very close friend. And I'm so happy to see her here as well today. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. And you're welcome to this orientation. I don't know how many of us are on the call now. I see about 42 people on the call. But if maybe, I don't know if the time permits, but it should have been good to just find out a career background of one or two of us. Peter said a couple of things as he was talking. Some of us are domain knowledge experts coming from engineering or maybe medicine, and then you're doing this. So what are we going to do? Anyways, maybe I can just pause on that, but it would have been good to kind of sample opinion, but let's just go straight. So I'm going to be saying three things here today. The first one, I'm going to be discussing briefly, very, very briefly, what an MBA is. Secondly, I'm going to be talking about the relevance of an MBA to professional development. And then thirdly, I'm going to make an argument why you need a peer resource or a good support system that we're doing here today. Peter told us that while we're in secondary school, our parents had to take the responsibility to get us extra help. That means while you were a child or while you were a teenager, somebody had to see that you needed extra help. But this is more an adult education. An MBA is a professional degree, like Peter mentioned. So you need to assess yourself and see, oh, yes, I do need some professional help or support system, and that's why you're here today. All right, I'm going to be making the argument that the path of least resistance is not usually the best strategy or not the most rewarding strategy. So that's one of the key takeaways of what I'm going to be saying. And another takeaway is that an MBA, this program is meant to be very rigorous. That is very challenging and not to be difficult, especially if you have a support system. And then finally, I'm also going to be making the argument that this program is very useful to motivated professionals only. Okay, so without wasting time, I'll go into the first part. I'm just going to be talking briefly. These days, ChatGPT can definitely give us anything we need also. But mine is going to be mixed up with experience and some stories also, just to make it more different from what you can get from an MBA. All right. Please confirm you can still hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. I think.
Yes, we can.
Okay, because I just heard some alerts also. Maybe people were leaving. So what's an MBA? An MBA is characterized by two things. I just want to use these two things. The first one is that it's a professional course. And secondly, it's a credibility symbol. Now, to the extent that an MBA is a professional course, there are four different things that we should expect from an MBA. The first one is that it is very, very practical. So it should not be something that we sit down and we're bored with theories and all that also. Peter mentioned that I was in the finance specialization. One thing I liked about the finance specialization, you can ask Prof to confirm this, he's a finance guru, is that it's very, very intuitive. It's not something that you can just sit down. If once you start thinking around maybe something that your thoughts are wrong, or so you can actually identify, or you should expect the outcome. If this is this is what it. So, and I like intuitive courses like that. So chemistry was somewhere like that, and I really enjoyed my chemistry as a science student. So it's supposed to be practical. You're not supposed to come here and be bored by theories. I was supposed to kind of talk about scenarios and cases. Now, the experience here might not be ideal, in that regard, but it's still close to the ideal scenario. So I want us to have an open mind and learn. Do you understand? The thing about learning and the thing about education is not about whether you went to an Ivy League school or thereabout, but it's about what you made of yourself. I've come to see this with my experience working and all that also, which I can share much later. All right. The second thing is that everybody in an MBA, we can categorize them in two categories. That means what I'm trying to say is that everybody who is coming for an MBA should have work experience. So you're either an employee with work experience or you're an employer. So you're either one of these two. Now, it's possible that you're here and you're not employed, right? But I would like to challenge you, to do your best to get employed. Because if you're not employed, if you're not working, then the MBA experience becomes very academic for you, which is not supposed to be the ideal case. If you check around any MBA school abroad, they want you to at least have either 2 years work experience or 1 to 2 years, 1 to 3 years. But the more work experience you have, the better, right? All right. So the third point is that sometimes an MBA can be tailor-made. Now, it's not the same here. Maybe the executive program could be that way, right? But I'll just tell us a little story. My father told me that while he was working, so he was working for a firm that used to partner with Colgate Palmolive. I know many of us have used Colgate. So the original owner of the firm had established his company. He didn't have a son. He wanted to kind of hand over to his son, but his daughter eventually had a son, so that he had a grandson. So this grandson, people saw him growing up, and all that. Then immediately the father now wanted to make him to probably hand over. The grandfather wanted to hand over to him. But people were talking down at him, this a boy we saw growing up and all that. My father told me that he sent the boy to the UK for some training and they trained him. So now it's tailor-made, right? And this guy learns how to manage people. So if you're talking to him, he's making that eye contact. It reminds me about some of the kind of trainings we had during my master's. I already had a master's degree before coming for the MBA, right? And then they teach you about making eye contact while you're talking. So they taught him how to handle people, who were looking down at him. And the boy came back. Everybody noticed that everything was different and everybody had to comply, right? So an MBA can be tailor-made. Now, to the extent that our program here is not tailor-made, you can make it tailor-made for yourself by choosing a specialization, right? Which is why, if you notice, I mentioned that I was going to argue that the path of least resistance is not the most rewarding option because that's actually a lazy path. And you're going to hear many of your colleagues say, oh yeah, just go with that path and all that. But I'm going to say the best path for you or the best strategy for you is to go with something that is very useful to you and meaningful to you. We'll come to that later. And then finally, an MBA is supposed to be expensive. Now, this part is something that we sort of ignore, right? But if you check, you see that the MBA fees is more than the regular academic master's fees. How many of us would have seen that? Also, you can always validate in a comment section. So it's supposed to be more expensive. And I'll share a little experience with you. There was a time I was trying to do an interview with McKinsey and Company. If you're an MBA student, you should really know McKinsey, you should know Bain, you should know Boston Consulting Group, right? And then McKinsey's interviews can be very hard. As an engineer growing up in uni, everybody wanted to work for Shell. We thought Shell's interview used to be hard. Not until you try McKinsey, right? And then If you pass McKinsey's initial test, they'll get you some consultants, to work with you to prepare you for the interview because they know how difficult it can be. Now you go to Prep Lounge, to get consultants to train you and work with you. And if you see what these consultants charge, they charge some of them will charge $100 an hour, so $500 an hour because they know the value of what they are giving, and it should be the same with the MBA, right? So it takes me over to the credibility symbol part of the MBA. The MBA is supposed to give you a credibility symbol. If you think about the soul has an icon, you already know that, oh yeah, this somebody, a professional, a certified professional, anything related to accounting, you talk to him, he can guide you, tax, he can guide you and all that. Now, if someone has a CFA, that's a chartered financial analyst, then you know that this guy is a guru with investment. Now, if you want to kind of invest money, many of us see people talking on social media about investment because Nigeria is not regulated. That's not supposed to happen. You should check if that guy has a CFA, so that means he's qualified to give you such an advice. Now, if you have an MBA, that means you are a business, you're not a business leader. That means you're certified to an extent, for business leadership, right? So what it means is that if we put you in charge of this ship, you're not going to sink the ship. So now what have I just achieved? I've been able to kind of narrowly define an MBA to be a professional course and to give us credibility symbol. So I'm going to move straight to the relevance to professional development because I want to keep to time. Now, the couple of things I want you to have in your mind. The first question you should ask yourself is, who am I? So if you're in this MBA as we're starting, and you've not done a personal SWOT analysis to assess what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what the opportunities in terms of career, are for you, and what the threats could be. I mean, a lot of people have been telling us about AI being a threat. It's very, very, very material. I see that every day. I'll tell you a little story. My younger brother is a software engineer, so he came to visit last year. He's been in Spain. And he was having a chat with one of my friends. She visited and was telling my brother, oh, I'm a medical doctor, but I'm trying to I was trying to learn software, and this is what I was learning. My brother said, don't do that. She was like, why? My brother said, the thing you're learning is now so basic. Now, in my company, I don't have an intern. The company paid a full version of ChatGPT for me, and ChatGPT is my full intern. So I just tell ChatGPT what I want, and then there's no need to hire an intern for me, right? So you see the way things are going. So you need to do a personal SWOT analysis on yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are the opportunities that are opening up for you? And what would the threats be, right? And then have you done your personal SWOT analysis? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And I'll tell you another short story. Sometime, maybe 10 years ago, my dad called me. My father had a very wonderful career. He worked for 40 years, almost 35 years in one company. So he called me and said, Uchina, I would like us to talk. And I'm like, okay, when I'm done what I'm doing. So when I sat down, he started by asking me, Uche, do you like the way my career has gone? And I told him that I won't retire. He said, oh, the conversation is over. Because that's where he wanted us to go. He wanted me to understand that you need to kind of keep developing yourself, keep improving yourself to the extent that you can be very flexible with your career and keep growing your career as opposed to just being a domain expert like he was. He was a domain expert. And then when the time came to retire, he retired also, But if you keep doing this, if you keep developing yourself as you've taken this journey, which I must congratulate you for, it means that in the future, as you're leaving this role, you could say, oh yeah, based on what I've learned, so time, I could engage in the other role and all that. So you see that for yourself as your career unfolds. So now let's leave that, and get to who are you? So everybody here is either going to be an employer or an employee. Anybody who is taking an MBA. If you're an employee, that means you're in this MBA for two reasons. Either you want accelerated growth or you want to change your career. So it's either you're accelerating your career, that means you're mid-level, you want to get to C-level, or you're an early career starter and you want to get to mid management level or so. Or you're trying to kind of change career. Maybe you're a doctor, a domain expert. My good friend here today is an engineer as well. I think electrical should be speaking to you soon. Peter is also an engineer. So, and now as an engineer, you're working somewhere. You now want to get to senior management level, C-level. C-level is CFO, that's Chief Finance Officer, Chief Technology Officer, and what have you, right? You want to get to that level, and then you can't make that change just like that, because most companies are not ready to train you and things are fast paced and all that. So you now need to sit down and say, if I can invest some time and money, remember I told you it's not meant to be cheap. You need to invest in yourself. If I invest some time and money into myself, I can probably get to that level. So think risk and reward. Think, oh yeah, if I invest this, but there's no risk really here because an investment is an investment you made in yourself. Now, you could also be an employer. Some of my classmates are employers, right? And if you're an employer, that means you could actually be thinking of growing your business. Now, people always used to say that there should be a difference between, I'm an Igbo boy, right? Igbo guys are always traders, but there should be a difference between an Igbo guy that is trading and an Igbo guy who is trading, who has gone to school as well. I had a good friend who his family members were traders. So when we graduated, you know how difficult it is to find job. His name is Sammy. I call him Sammy. He told me his father has a business, so and they are not happy with his elder brother the way it's been working. And he was going to get into the business, and he went into his family business, in Arera. So I remember visiting him then in Arera. He told me, Arera is in Aba. He told me not to mention to anybody that he went to Futo, so we're just chatting, but I didn't mention that he went to school, and all that. But there was a difference with a little time. He grew the family business more than his brother would have done and all that. So there should be a difference that you went to school and you're trying to run your business. Or you could be thinking about consolidating your business, putting systems in place and all that. Then you're actually in the right place, right? Then in terms of discipline, you can be a domain knowledge expert. I've talked about that severally, and you're seeking to kind of understand and speak the business language. Now you need to understand and speak the business language. You can't just keep speaking engineering language in boardroom meetings, right? You need to be able to understand when the company is saying, okay, this is the direction we're taking and all that, be able to communicate clearly. There's one of my classmates, his name is Banky, right? I remember chatting with him and he was sharing some testimonies about this MBA for him, how he's able to engage in finance level conversations, with his senior colleagues in the organization by virtue of this MBA. And that's actually more rewarding, right? For us to be a more rewarding reason, sorry, for us to be this MBA. All right. So, and you can't go the next level in terms of your discipline if you're a domain knowledge expert without an MBA. Now, the other part I'm going to talk about is where are you in your career? Now, you need to understand where you are in your career. First of all, if you're an early career person, maybe 1 or 2 years or 1 to 5 years, and you're seeking mid management, to get into mid management, that means what you're seeking is accelerated growth. You need to be able to talk in meetings that people can listen. You need to kind of build that gravitas, that executive presence that can help people and make people want to listen to your conversation, to know that, oh yeah, you have something important to say, right? Then you're actually in the right direction. Or maybe you're in mid management, right? And you're seeking to go to C level. That means you're now seeking visibility and leadership, right? You need to be able to mentor others. You need to be able to assign responsibilities and ensure that things go very well, right? Then you're actually like in the right place. Or maybe you're in C level already. Now, remember what I told you. My dad said, we have to talk. Do you like the way my career is going? I said, I can't retire. Now, do you know, my father had, when he was done with his work career, people hired him as consultants, but it was just to manage their factories, right? But it should not be so for us. Now, if Yesterday is getting to C level, right, or after being at C level, people should start approaching and saying, hi, Yesterday, due to your illustrious career and what you've done also, I see that you have a voice. You're now a thought leader. Can you come and join my board? Right? So no matter what level you are, there's still somewhere you can go. So if you're C level, you need to now have a voice in society, right? And then you're thinking about top leadership, and MBA can help you to get there. After an MBA, you see most people who are that C level doing advanced management programs. Prof can confirm this. So, he's like in this management specialized, well grounded in this area, right? So no matter what level you are, right, an MBA is going to always be helpful. Remember, I told you I'm going to be arguing that the path of least resistance is actually not the right strategy for you. Now, if you're a business owner, you might be saying, oh, yes, some of my classmates, when we talk about it, say, I'm not looking for anybody to pay me. I have my own business. Good. If you're a business owner, you're actually thinking of growing your business, right? Now, why is it that statistics have shown that most businesses don't outlive their owner, or some businesses in the next 10 years, almost 10% of the businesses that were set up this year will just be surviving, or 1%. I don't know what the statistics is for Nigeria, right? So that means you want to put in systems to make sure that this business outlives you, then that's actually a good objective to have, and that's why you should be here. Or like the story I told you earlier about the dude who was working in my the company my father worked. Maybe you have your parents want to diagnose a fault in your business. There's something that Prof taught us, cost accounting. The way people analyze things, they'll say, "Oh, profit minus loss." No, you're going to learn about contribution margin, right? And then that will help you to think better, and you'll be able to understand business concepts well, better than a layman that will just be saying, "Oh, profit minus loss. Sorry, revenue minus sorry, cost rather. That's what my profit is and all that. Also, no, you need to be able to have superior knowledge to be able to diagnose your business very well, right? Or maybe your parents have a business and you're unemployed and your parents are like, yeah, you need to take this degree, and then you're taking this degree, you come back, you need to come back like my friend, tell your father that no, the way we've been doing this is wrong. This is how we ought to do this. And how many of us know about GUO Motors also? I heard that his son, he went to school and he came back and he sort of changed the way the business has been going also. I mean, his father he's a risk taker, like the first generation. He used to be a risk taker, right? But now he's thinking about consolidation. His son has come in now, put in systems, went online and all that also, and the business has been able to sort of consolidate well. And then finally, what is becoming very clear here in what I'm saying is that everybody's journey is very unique. Peter's journey is different from my own journey, which is different for Yetunde's journey. Yetunde specialized in production or operations, right? Right. And me, I specialize in finance because I had a different career path or a different journey. So I can't be saying, oh, Yetunde is my close friend. Yeah, I mean, she can tell you how close we were. So I always used to bounce ideas off her and all that. But I cannot say, because I'm bouncing ideas off her or validating, I'll now join her to go to operations. No, I know what's unique to me and she knows what's unique to her. So now, based on that, I'm now going to probably wrap up with the third thing that I promised I was going to talk about, which is that we need a very, very good support system to do this. Now, remember what I told you. I mentioned to you that this stuff is not supposed to be cheap, right? And to the extent that it is adult education, it means that as an adult, as a child, there's a special doctor for children. A child is crying. You as a parent, you're wondering, oh, what does the child need? Food. Okay, you now see the child's temperature is high. Let me take the child to the hospital. But as an adult, you know how your body is feeling. You're like, okay, I need to go to the hospital now, or I need to do this also. As a child, you see, oh, my child, I look at the report card. He didn't do well in maths. I get him a teacher. My mom did that a lot for me while I was growing up. But now, as an adult, you need to be able to do your own self-diagnosis, right? You need to do your own personal SWOT analysis and see, I'm very weak in quantitative or numerical problems, right? I need some help. I need to go and partner with a friend. Okay, but your friend is also facing the same circumstance. And then you now have the privilege to have like a tutorial group like this, right? To be honest, when I see the number of people that UNILAG graduates, with first class, I get a bit jealous. I didn't go to UNILAG. I went to school in the East. Okay, I have 1 more minute. Thank you. I'm wrapping up. I went to school in the East, and in the East, it's not very, very rosy the way it is here. So I see the number of people who graduate first class, and then when I saw these tutorials, I was like, okay, I can now see why a lot of people graduate with first class. Now, while I was in Futo, I was taught to solve problems for myself. There were no tutorial groups like this, helping you to sort of navigate issues and all that also, But this tutorial helps you to sort of make things very easy, right? I have a case in point. I had a classmate who studied international relations. She told me that her best course in this MBA, she scored the very highest, was in operations. And that's a very quantitative course. Prof can bear you witness. She told me, Uchi, do you know what? I was teaching people, So I think she had an 89. I think she even scored higher than I did, right? I was teaching people. Why? She paid attention to what Prof was teaching in this during the tutorials. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to argue to tell you that if you're going with a path of least resistance by saying, oh, HR might be easy, it has no calculations, then you might not be doing yourself justice in the future, right? Where maybe based on your SWOT analysis, if you had probably specialized in finance or maybe operations, you could have more opportunities, which wouldn't be taken away from you, in the future. But you now went with HR, right? So now I'll leave you with two thoughts before I leave. What will your strategy be? What will your strategy be? Are you going to toe the path of least resistance? Or are you going to follow the path that's going to be challenging? Remember, I mentioned to you, it's not supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be very rigorous and challenging. So will you follow a path that is going to be very rewarding in the future, but very challenging right now with a support system? I'll conclude by telling you that an MBA is an adult education. And to the extent that it's an adult education, you really need to kind of be prepared to invest in yourself. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. And sorry if I overshoot or overshot the time. I'll hand over back to Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Uchenna, for that insightful and wonderful section. Thank you so much. Uche has mentioned a lot of things. And one of the things he mentioned is do not take the path of least resistance. Please, if you are not writing, you are wrong. That's a very important point. That's not motivational talk. So maybe you didn't understand what he's saying. So MBA, in MBA program, you have a lot of people, a lot of friends. There's always confusion when you get to your specialization year. That's second year, first semester for the full time, and second year, second year, first semester for the full time, second year, second semester for the part time. When it comes to specialization, people don't even know what to specialize in. And in MBA program, you have about 5 or 6 specialization. Okay, there are 6 in total. We have management, we have finance, we have accounting, you have production, you have finance. Which other one do I omit? There's marketing as well. So when you get to that year, there's always confusion as to which one to pick. And most of the time, people just pick specialization based on the one that they've had that, people used to pass this one very well. So if it's HR that people hear that, HR, what that did HR, they're always having A. Now HR I go choose, and that is how people, ended up specializing in courses that they're not supposed to specialize in. Specialization here is very critical. When you get to that stage, please make a very sound decision. There are things you need to consider before making a choice. Don't choose the path of least resistance, like Uche has mentioned. Check your career paths. What field are you in? Are you in the engineering sector? What really match the engineering sector? Check your interest. What do you really have interest in? Do you like to be a sales manager? Is it marketing that speaks more to you? Those are the things you put on the table before making a decision as to your specialization. Don't just choose one because, you are that this they don't give them problem. So they usually have a very well. Please do not do that. Some decisions they are time sensitive. And please, I know many students will always want to take the part of literature. Please do not do it. Make a very good and sound decision. When you get there, please make a good choice. And another thing I also want to mention is please, for whatever reason, do not quit the program. MBA is always a very stressful journey. We are not promising that it's going to be easy. It won't be easy for you to be attending your normal classes and then you are joining Brainers for tutorial at the weekend. But I will tell you that it's always a very, very interesting and good experience at the end of the day. Whatever it is that you are going through, please go through it, face it and face it out. But for whatever reason, do not quit the program. The Bible said better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. For many of us who just recently graduated the day before yesterday, we can't even remember some of the challenges we went through. It's always very difficult to combine work and school. It's not always an easy experience. Trust me, it's not always easy to leave your work. You are closing by 5, then you are jumping to the next bus because you want to attend classes. It's not always a very easy and pleasant experience. But please, whatever it is that you are going through, just go through it. Ensure you complete the program. That's the joy. Don't start something and not finish it. Please, I will encourage everyone to please finish the program and complete it. I know the experience is not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be, wow, smooth, like I mentioned. The Bible said the woman, when she's in travel, had sorrow. because Ahawa has come. But as soon as she's delivered of a child, she remember no more the anguish for the joy that a man is born into the world. That was the same experience we all had day before yesterday. We couldn't remember all that we went through in the program anymore. The stress, the sleepless night, everything vanished. All we were just doing was celebrating that the program has come to an end. So on this note, I would like to call on Popri Yetunde Oyekpeju. I'm a very good friend. And she's one of the very serious students in Brenner tutorial. There is no Saturday class or Sunday class that I attend that I will not see Madam Yetunde on the course. Some of us we like to watch recordings, we don't like to join the live classes. I think I did that, during my times in Brenner's. But there is this woman that there is no class that prof is holding live section. This woman is always on in the class. And if you are privileged to watch, old recordings, you'll be hearing prof calling Madam Yetunde, Madam Yetunde, Madam Yetunde. And I'm not very so much surprised that she finished with distinction because she has paid her dues. She has paid her dues. And she did extremely well. And I want to really congratulate her on her graduation day before yesterday and for finishing with distinction. Madam Yetunde, I celebrate with you and I rejoice with you greatly. You
Thank you
paid the
so
price.
much.
You paid your price, and you deserve it. I really acknowledge the fact that you are very consistent in class. You are very, very consistent. There's no recording that I watch that I'll not be hearing Madam Yetunde, and she's always very active. I don't know how she does it, but she has paid the price. So please permit me to welcome Madam Yetunde, as Prof popularly calls her, to take us on the subject of study techniques for MBA success / managing stress during the program. That's a very good topic for her to take. Thank you so much. We want to hear your success secrets.
Thank
Please,
you
you have
so,
the
so
floor.
much. Thank you so, so much, Engineer Peter. Thank you. You see, this is a very good friend. Engineer Peter is my friend too. Thank you, Brenner's team. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm really, really happy. I'm grateful to be here. I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much. And to our great managers, I want to say big congratulations to you. It's a good journey that you've embarked on, and I pray that the Lord will see you through. So my name is Yetunde Kokrik, as earlier mentioned, and I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I work as an engineer at Globalcom, and I also run a bakery. So I managed all this by the grace of God with the MBA program and finished with distinction. I'm very happy because it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy journey, but thank God we are here. So I'm to talk about the study techniques for MBA success / managing stress during the program. So I would like to start with a background story. One of the reasons why I joined or I enrolled for MBA, it's over. I think it's been a while. I've been saying I want to go back to school. I want to go back to school. I just want to enjoy school again and all that. So I thought, I read electrical engineering in my undergrad, and going for my master's, I felt, how will I be able to cope after so many years of leaving school and all that? So let me do an MBA program. I think MBA should be a good start. So I thought, and I'd already registered for one international online course, an MBA program, but I couldn't sustain it. I had to quit because it was so stressful putting all that together with my work and business and everything and family. So I thought, let me go for UNILAG MBA. And then I enrolled, and we got there, and I was seeing Professor Lowe's work, seeing finance, seeing accounting, economics, and everything. I was like, God, what is this? It was really overwhelming, but I made up my mind that, no, this one, I'm not going to quit. This, I'm going to do it, and I will end it by the grace of God. So I want to say that MBA success is not about having the most free time, really. It's about using the little time, that little time that you think that you have, use it wisely. And that's the best gift you can give to yourself, really. I would say for you to be able to achieve success in your studies, number one, you have to be intentional with your study time. See, because we work, most of us are parents, we have businesses we run and all that, we may not always have that time. And that's the truth. We may not always have that time, but every time you get, every little time you get, you create a time for yourself and say, okay, today I'm going to read so. within this particular minute, you understand, or within this particular time of the day. What I used to do was I made sure I read something every day. And when I say something, it may not be something so long. You don't have to spend 2 hours reading. You don't have to spend 3 hours reading in a day. It could just be 15 minutes. You have a formula. Oh, this formula, let me cram it. Because you're going to see a lot of formulas. So, oh, let me cram this formula today. At least when I know this formula, I know by tomorrow I'm reading something else. You could decide to do a 2 hour reading in a day and then break it maybe in 15-minute session, 30 minutes, anyhow. You understand? Just read something every day because it's going to help you. You're not going to be overwhelmed with so much work, because if you decide to pile up everything till exam period, it's going to be tedious, and I can tell you that for a fact. Number 2, you need to stay ahead of classes. And what I mean by staying ahead of classes is this. See, I determined then that I was going to read whatever we are being taught in a class before the next class. So it means by the time I'm going for the next class, at least I have an idea. I may not know it completely, but at least I have an idea of what was taught in the previous class. And this new class is not going to be so new to me. I will be able to grab it faster and better. You understand? This will help you to follow your lectures better. You follow it to make your classes easier, and then it will help you reduce stress. You're not stressed because when you get to a class and then the lecturer is saying what I taught you last week, what we did last week, and you don't even have an idea of what was taught. You can't even remember because you've not even opened your notes at all. You understand? It's going to be so much stressful for you. And I remember there was even a time that we got to class and one lecturer decided to just give us a test as if we were undergrads. And imagine that you didn't have anything you don't have anything, you haven't read anything. It's going to be stressful. And I feel it's better to always read before the next class. It may not be something thorough, but just put in something. It helps a lot. So number 3 is create a focused study environment. For me, what I did was, when it was time for exam, I called my family, please, daddy, children, mom is going to write exam. I don't want to be disturbed. Just please, this time, help me. Don't disturb me. And I went to the children's room. I would lock it up. I would lock myself up in the children's room. So even when they are running around trying to record themselves, like this one did this one, that one did that one, and they tried opening the door and the door is not opening, they will leave me alone. I won't be disturbed. So I had the time to read during exam period because I just locked out the noise. And anytime I feel like, okay, I'm okay, I need to rest, I need to take a break, I would go out, play with the children, have time with my husband, do the things I need to do at home and all that. And that helped a lot because you need to be able to plan yourself well, else you are going to get overwhelmed. Because this journey, you can get overwhelmed. You really, really can get overwhelmed. And I'm sure there are people that during our set that pulled out, but I pray that will not be our portion. You need to plan yourself. You plan your time, plan yourself, and determine that you're going to make it. That's another thing. You have to be determined that you're going to make it. No matter what happens, you are going to see the program through. Then number 4, I would say ask questions and use support systems. And when I say ask questions, see, for me, I was coming from a non-management science background. So accounting was new to me, accounting, economics, all those courses were new to me. But then again, I picked interest in them because they were interesting, because it was something different. They were interesting, so I wanted to learn. And I had friends in my class, in my stream, Ifoma was a friend and she was an accountant. So anytime I had issues with any accounting course, I was always disturbing her and she was always ready and willing to help. So you need to build that network of people that can help you. Know people, go to classes if you can. Have people around you that can tell you, oh, this is what we did today. Okay, you don't understand this. Let me explain to you. And when I say support system also, I'm talking about Brainers Consult. I'm not saying this because I passed through Brainers Consult. I'm saying this because Prof is really grounded. Brainers, the tutors there are really, really grounded. See, you can be in class and so many things will be said and you may not understand. And for some people, it's not everybody that loves to ask questions in class. And sometimes, even when you have a question, you may be thinking in your mind, this question may sound stupid, though. Let me not go and mess up myself. Let me not go and, you understand? But you have a place where you can come and ask your questions, even the seemingly stupid questions. Prof is not going to say, oh, this is a stupid question. Why are you asking this? It takes his time to answer all questions. And that's one thing about Prof. Is it finance? There was this business course that we did, one pure mathematics course that we did. Prof is grounded. It's just grounded. He knows what to do. He knows how to take people. So you don't have any, if you go to class and you don't understand anything, just come back to the tutorial. I'm very sure you are going to get it at the tutorial. Another thing I used to do was YouTube videos. See, there's nothing, let me not say nothing, but let me say there's almost nothing that we are being taught in class that you cannot find on YouTube. So make YouTube your friend. Go on YouTube, search online. There's this accounting guy I used to follow back then, folk tutorials. I think the guy is a Ghanaian. It was good. You would go through videos, read as much as you can, and please, if you can also, please go for classes. If you can, attend classes online. If it's online, if it's physical, attend. But if you cannot, have someone that can help you record as little as your phone recording when the class is going on, or record on your laptop. And if your lecturer is magnanimous enough to send you recordings of his classes, fine, good. Make sure that you have recordings. And there are people that also sell notes in school. You can get those notes. But more than that, get people that will have their notes complete. Have friends that write notes that you can collect notes from. Have your recordings, something you can rely on that is reliable. Form your notes, have something you can read when the exam comes. You understand? Because I discovered that it is when it's time for exam that people start running around looking for notes. It doesn't work like that. So at that time, you're putting yourself under unnecessary pressure. So I feel before that period, get your notes complete. Get all the tutorials you need to get your recordings, even recordings from tutorial. I'm sure Brenna sent recordings to us after each class. So get your recordings, watch over and over again to understand what you are being taught. I know the time may not be there, but just try and create time from whatever little time you have. Create time to study if you really, really want to succeed. So I want to also say that, okay, then also, when you are being taught in class and you don't understand what you are being taught, when you get to the tutorial, you are going to revisit that same topic. Even when you understand, you are still going to understand more. We may not really understand what brainers or what a tutorial will do for you until you get to that point. See, don't bother getting to that point. Just join Brainers tutorial now. They have seasoned tutors and you won't regret it. Honestly, I'm saying that not because I finished from Brainers, but I'm actually telling you the truth. Can we all still hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, then I would say thank you. I would say again, always be prepared. And when I say always be prepared, I mean, don't go to, because I hear people say, oh, we are in the hall, we're about to write our exam. And someone is saying, do you know I've not even opened this book? I'm like, then what are you here to do? How do you have an exam? You have a paper to write and you haven't opened the book. No, to me, I feel that is also good. For you to succeed, you need to be prepared. And when I say be prepared, I mean read ahead of time. Read enough to be independent in the exam hall. See, if you decide, oh, I'm going to go in with my clique when we get to the exam hall, whatever this one writes, and whatever I don't know, I can always ask this person and all that, and you have that kind of arrangement. What if you get into the hall and then the whole arrangement scatters, or they move somebody to the front, or one individual comes to sit beside you, and you can't go ahead with your plan? What would happen? So I always tell people, see, read enough for you to pass your exam. People always feel like it's not possible for you to be independent in the exam. Well, I say it's a lie. It is possible. You don't have to read everything. You may not be able to read everything. But so far, you can get your past questions, study your past questions, do your and again, assignment, please do your assignments. The assignments are mostly they use assignment for CAs and they are free marks. So please try as much as you can to always do your assignment. Do your assignment though, it's very, very important. And what I'm saying, yeah. So to back to what I was saying, read enough to make you independent in the exam hall. Because in case anything happens to that your plan, what will you do? It is be sustainable in yourself. Go to that exam hall, and no matter how bad this question may be, I'll have an E. We're not even ready to have an E, but I'm just saying, no matter how tough or the questions are, I'm not going to fail this course. That when you enter into the exam hall with that kind of confidence, it gives you joy. You are relaxed. You are not stressed. Whatever, you read enough. That's just what I want to say. Just read enough, please. Just read enough. And also, I want to say that you need people around you beyond reading, beyond coming out with a distinction and all that. You need to make friends, make connections, have that connection with people, because at some point in the MBA program, you are going to be overwhelmed, and that's a fact, because it's tedious, it's rigorous. Honestly, you are going to be overwhelmed. But when you have people that, even when you feel like I'm tired, you have people that can hold you by your hand and pull you up. I can remember there was a time, I think we were preparing for one management exam. I don't know, you should be able to remember. And I called UC and I was crying. I was crying over the phone, like, God, I don't know. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I'm this. And you told me, yesterday, you got this. Don't worry. You can do this. Yesterday, no, you can do this. You can do this. And that in itself gave me the confidence I needed at that time. And I continued to read. And fine, we wrote the exam and we were fine. We were good. You understand? So, and I also want to say that after reading and all that, you need to pray. Pray against missing results, because some people would read, do everything they need to do. At the end of the day, maybe they didn't write their matric number on their booklet, or maybe something happened, or their result was missing, or something. You understand? So pray for favor, pray for clarity, pray for strength, pray for anything you can pray for. Because at the end of the day, when you do everything, when everything is done, you study well, you attend tutorials, you prepare yourself well, you still need that grace. You need the grace to crown your efforts. That's what I want to say. So I would say that you don't need perfect conditions to succeed in your program, honestly, because the condition may never be perfect. All you need consistent study habits. You need smart use of support system. Please, brainers, leverage on the wealth of knowledge that brainers have. Honestly, that's the best thing you can do for yourself in this program. Join brainers tutorial. Leverage on the wealth of prof. I remember a lot of times I used to disturb prof. I'll send him message, I'll send him screenshots. Prof, please, this question I don't understand. Prof, this, please, how was this achieved? Plus, prof, please, how do I do this and all that? And he was always ready and willing to help. He was always ready and willing. It's different if you don't know, if someone does not know you, you are not a member of the tutorial, he doesn't know you, and then you now call him. It may be difficult for him to for you to get that quick response. But if you're already a member of the group, of the family, you can easily chat prof up, chat him up, tell him this, and he would answer you. Really. Also, I want to say you need to plan yourself properly. Plan before the day starts. Know if your lecture is going to be physical. Know if, okay, yeah, I have a minute more, thank you. Know if your lecture is going to be physical. Know if it's going to be virtual, so you can plan your day. Do you understand? Then also self-discipline. Make up your mind that you're not going to quit. Make up your mind that you're going to succeed. Make up your mind that you're going to give it all it takes. So if I, yesterday, from an engineering background, can combine family, combine work, combine business, and the MBA, I still graduate with distinction, I want to tell you that you can do it. And beyond the distinction, make sure that you take in all the experience. And I pray that the Lord will help us all. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Wow. That was wonderful. What else do you want to hear again as regards the secret to success in the MBA program? Coming out from the very distinction student in the MBA school. Thank you so much, Madam today. For some of us that are not following carefully, let me just reiterate some of the points she has mentioned. Number one, she said use a little time. Those are the secret to success. Now, she has shared with us. So please Please, as I'm mentioning it, just write it down. Number one, use a little time to read. Don't wait till it is convenient. Manage the little you have. Like she mentioned, she's a wife, a mother, a business owner, an employee somewhere. Do you get it? She has many responsibilities and she was able to manage everything and she still finished with distinction. So she has encouraged us to use the little time we have to read. She said we shouldn't involve in the fire brigade approach. Don't wait till last minute before you start jacking. Some people are like that. It is when exam is closed that they start reading their book. Take it bit by bit. Stay ahead of the class, read ahead. She mentioned that as well. Just for you to know that I'm also following her. She mentioned that she should stay away from distraction. There are times that she will have to tell her husband, her children, that mommy is writing the exam. So please stay away from distraction, and proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you have to plan yourself, properly plan your time, plan everything um, as regard you. Number five, she said, ask questions and seek support system. If there are areas of unclarity, seek clarity, support system, and come and enroll in Brenna's tutorials. Pay your fee and join once and for all. She has mentioned that. That's one of our secrets to success. Join Brenna's tutorials. I'm saying it again. Number six, she said extra reading. Read extra. She mentioned that she usually go to YouTube to do some extra reading. Please note that. And then she ended by saying prayer. Pray, 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 pray until something happens. So please ensure you put God in everything you are doing. No man can receive nothing except if it is given from above. So prayer helps. Pray for favor. Pray that there will not be missing scripts. Pray that the person that will be marking your script will not mark it angrily. When you deserve 70, the person will just give you 40. And there's a lot of that in NBA program, just in case you don't know. So it is not the most read that had the best of the marks. Emmanuel is on this call. Recently, they had a result that they came to complain to the executive. So prayer helps. So it's not everything that is human effort. There's God effort in some of these things too as well. So as they are reading one side, they carry God along. Thank you so much for your wonderful section, Madam Yetunde, a fellow engineer like myself. Thank you so much for that. At this point, we are now moving to the first Q&A section. And please, if you do have questions for the three speakers that have spoken before now, myself inclusive, Uche, Madam Yetunde, and me, please do raise your hand, show me the raise your hand, then we can call on you to take your question. Thank you so very much. Please, okay. I've not seen anybody raise a hand, but there's a question in the chat box. Maybe I should start from there while we wait for others to raise their hand. So a question is directed to Mataniete. They said, my question, Madam today is, how do you balance work, studies, and life? Because you can't tell us it was all work, business, studies, family. She has mentioned this before now, and I also shared our secret to success to everybody on the call, just in case they are not following. She has mentioned everything practically. I don't know what else you want us to say. Madam Yetunde, do you have further response to this question?
No,
Because me myself,
I'll just say it's planning. I've mentioned it actually. It's planning. You need to plan yourself. Come to work. When I come to work, I come to work, do my work. When I get home, whatever needs to be attended to at home is attended to. When I have the time to read, could be when I want to read, could be maybe when people had gone to sleep, even sometimes in the night. Just do like 1-2 hours in the night before you go to bed. When you need to read during the day, you read during the day. Just when the children need you to just plan yourself. That's what you can, that's the best thing you can do. Nothing else. You plan your time, plan yourself. Thank you.
okay. FA hand is up. FA, can we have you ask a question? You can please unmute and ask a question.
Okay, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead,
Okay,
please.
good morning. Thank you all for this wonderful opportunities. Please, I have a couple of questions. I have about 4 questions here. Question number 1 is, Oga Peter, during your introductory message, you had mentioned that classes for part-time is going to be online and physical. Like, how exactly does that run? Is it physical some days and then online some days? And when it is online, is it is it usually recorded? I'm talking about the MBA class itself now. Is it usually recorded, and recordings shared with students for students that are probably not able to physically go to class or probably join online class due to work and all that? That's question number one. Then question number two, with regards to tutorials, for instance, I see this um meeting we're having right now is recorded. A situation where, because at times I work Saturdays, I also work Sundays. So a situation where I'm unable to join tutorial, will that tutorial be recorded and will it be shared? So that way we can go back, and watch the recordings and all that. Then question number three is, you had mentioned something about if you want to like boost your GPA, something like that, you can do additional classes. Now, doing additional classes, does that attract additional costs? That's from the MBA school now. Then question number four is um okay, yes. Madam Yetunde had mentioned that in order to stay ahead, of classes, it's advised that you study ahead. Now, will you be informed? For instance, let's say we're having classes. Okay, we had classes on Monday. We're having classes on Tuesday. So, would the lecturer inform us that, oh, tomorrow this is what we're going to be doing? So that way you can go ahead and, you know, because I know abroad you're given a degree plan and all that, you know what you're going to do next. Even the next month, you know what you're going to do. But I don't know if that applies here. So those are my four questions for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Effie. So let me start by answering your first question. So for the part-time program, like I mentioned, their classes are always in the evening. So it's going to be a combination. Some days you have physical classes, some days you have online classes, depending on the arrangements with the lecturer. Your course rep will always communicate whether your classes will be physical or it's going to be online. Um, that will be communicated to you before and by your course representative for the person handling the program. So it depends. Some days they will ask you to come physical. Some days they will say, oh, it's online, we are doing this time around. So whichever it is that is happening that day, you would be properly informed. But also note that you cannot have a hybrid in a single class. So either it is strictly online or strictly physical. So you will not have some people, join class online. There's some people they are physically present, in class. There's nothing like that. The school does not have the infrastructure to accommodate that. So if I say it's hybrid, what I meant is that some days it's physical, some days it is online. Then for the recordings, well, if you're attending any class, please just take it that you will not have access to that class again. For the classes you have in MBA school, it's only some of the lecturers will not record. Those that will record might not share their recordings. So once you miss what was discussed in class, you have missed it completely. So wherever you are in the world, if it is online class, join, ensure you are attentive. Don't be in class and be doing something else. Some of them will even be recording, just like we are recording now, but you will not get the recordings. And some of them, if they are very lovely, if they are nice, by the time they release the recording, they will not even release it to me. They might release it maybe when it is towards your exam. So for every classes you attend, treat it as once one time class. So you would not have access to recordings. So note that some students have been able to manage that. So for some that they know that they would not be attentive in class, that's for online classes. Some of them have apps on their PC that record the classes live, such that they can always revisit it. But there are just few of us that does that. So you just want to rest, want to sleep. So the for yourself at that time is to rest. Gone above and beyond. They would record it on their personal piece, not record the lecturer's class. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope you can still hear me. The call has been coming in. I want to be very sure you can all still hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so even if the lecturer is recording classes, you will not get the recording. But for those that are recording, I'm saying that they record the screen of the classes, not like they're recording the online classes for the lecturer. So note that. For the tutorial, Brenna's tutorial is always on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday. Prof will share his timetable with you. And for Brenna's tutorial, sure they record all their classes. Some people, if they prefer to be in the physical class where the Brenna's tutorial center is, some will go there physically and attend the physical class with Brenna's. But trust me, for Brenna's, they are doing both hybrid. So if you can't go physically, the class, you can join them online and the class will be recordings and recordings will be shared at the end of the day. So for brainers, you always get recordings for every classes you miss. And Prof will always share that on your group. Then for the CGPA boost, well, there's no extra cost that will be incurred by taking more courses. Your school fees is fixed. Whether you are paying part payment or you are paying in full, even though if you are paying part payments, there are extra amount or charges that you incurred. But the school fee is fixed. So if you are taking 100 of the courses, you are still paying the same thing. And what I meant by CGPA boost is that for some, maybe they are close to destination, and if you're taking more courses, we help them alleviate their current CGPA and take them to destination level. They will take more courses to be able to catch up with the CGPA. But like I also said, the same way that's a positive effect, also have a negative effect. So you can also do a great damage to your CGPA just in case you didn't pass those courses. But then there's also a way out. You can always take more courses. So the idea is this, even if you take those courses and you didn't pass, you can always delete those courses. Yes. So just in case you took more courses, you can always delete them. If you know that at the end of the day you messed up and it was not what you're expecting, you can delete. But trust me, the minimum specialization courses you must do is 4. So let's say you did 6, and out of the 6, 4 came out well, the other 2 didn't come out well. You can always delete, even though your intention is to post your CGP. You can reach out to the MBA admin office, speak to the ICT, they will help you delete it, and you will retain your 4 courses. But if you are within the margin of 4 specialization courses, those are the ones registered. You can only take minimum of 4. So if anything goes wrong, you have to return the 4 like that. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Madam Yetunde, I think the last question was directed to you, so you can please answer that before we take the next question.
Okay, I think she asked how she would know what topic to be taken at the next class, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So they always share the course outline. It's always with your class rep. So the course rep rather is supposed to share the course outline with the whole class, and then you can follow. Do you understand, ma?
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you, Oga Peter. Sincerely appreciate.
All right. So in addition to having the syllabus of the courses that you would take for a particular course, the executive, I also did a compilation of all the courses where you have past question, the PowerPoint that the lecturer might repeat. Everything has been compiled. I've been put in a study hub for you. Maybe you can reach out to me. I will share all of that, or maybe drop on the Greeners group. So you always have all the courses, just in case you don't know what the content of the syllabus is. You can always read ahead, to equip yourself ahead of the class. Thank you so very much. I hope I've been able to do justice to your question. Mr. Itodo Vincent, can we have you ask a question?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Peter. Congratulations, Madam Yetunde. I think my question aligned with Ife. I don't know her name, though. Okay, are they going to set exam question outside the syllabus they are going to give us? That's my addition question to, are they going to give us a syllabus for the semester? Okay, each course is like us now in part-time, we are offering like 6 courses. Are there going to be syllabus for those courses? Number 2, some of us are busy. Like me, I work in hospitality industry. I'm always busy. Like she said, we work Saturdays and Sunday sometimes. And in this kind of scenario, is attending class all the time compulsory? Is another question that I want to be cleared. That is 2 questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Peter.
Madam Yetunde, do you want to answer the question? Uche, would you like to answer that question?
Okay, let me just say from my own point of view, if you are so busy, of course, there are so many people that are so busy that can't even attend classes. And that's why I said, if you may not be able to attend classes, find someone in your stream or in your group that would attend class and share. Probably the person would help you record or have a complete notes. And also, they sell notes in school. I don't know how effective that can be. I got the notes. They were very, very effective for me. But sometimes they might have changed some lecturers, and the notes may not be so important to you. But if you have those notes, they can help you. So far, they've not changed to your lecturers. But have people around you that can help you record. If you are so busy, you can, like, sometimes I've attended classes before that would just keep my laptop by the side. Then there's this tool on my laptop, sniping tool. I'll use it to record the class. I'll just use it to record the class. I won't even be there, and it would record. And when I'm free, I go back and I watch it as if I'm in the class. You understand? So if you don't have the time, just find a way to get the recordings. Or even if it's your phone that you can use to record, anything, just find a way to make sure you get that class. Because most times, those lecturers don't, some do, some don't. They may not drop the recording, and if you don't have that recording, it's like that class has gone. So if you don't have anybody taking you what they were taught in class, that means you've lost that particular class. So have people who have their notes complete, or have people that can help you record, or you find a way to record by yourself. Thank you.
All
Sorry,
right.
let me add to what my very good friend here today has said. So yeah, what you said applies to me a bit. Um, in my first year, I was working somewhere, then in my second year, I changed jobs. So while I was working my first year, I didn't really have the time to work, and I had team members who were really throwing spanner in the works. In fact, I remember some of the exams I came for that exam having a bad day with my boss. I can remember the economics exam, I really like had a very bad day because we're having some clients conversation and I left some work for my colleagues and they didn't do it. I came back from that exam and still had to do that work that night also. So I'll be in a good position to share with you about that also. Now, which is why if you mention if you listen to what I was talking about, I told that yesterday was my friend, and I didn't really tell you the extent to which our friend we're in same stream, so that means we're taking the same classes. This is supposed to be like adult education, and as an adult, you need to be able to do a self-diagnosis to find out what your strengths are. Your strengths could also be your friends, like she mentioned. So it was very easy for me to find out that yesterday was a very, very dedicated person. And then I built the relationship with her, made the friendship with her, right? And I always leveraged the fact that she was well grounded to help me to become well grounded as well. So I always reach out to her and say, hi, yesterday, what's up about this? What do I do about this? What do I do about that? So that's number one. And number two is this for so many, I'm not trying to say this to put down the quality of the program, right? But sometimes some of the lecturers just skim through what they are teaching as opposed to, doing justice to what they are teaching, right? So that is why prof is now very, very, very important to you. A case in point is the economics lecturers. Like the lectures were a bit empty, and sometimes the lectures, the lectures, the exam has no bearing to what they were teaching sometimes also, So you find out that you go to the class, they're telling sweet things, you're talking about Nigeria and all that, but then you go to the exam, the exam is wonderful, right? So in this regard, if you're very, very, very busy, make a friend with somebody, in your class who is serious. And number two, make prof your friend. Do you get the like Peter mentioned to you, Brainers records all the sessions, right? I'm actually like a library
Call me
of
back.
all the records that Brainers has. Also, I noted or put them in my Google Drive, right? And before exams, I go through. And anytime I have questions, I reach out to prof. Yesterday said something about prof, which I want to confirm that is true. He answers even the most silly questions. There's sometimes where you be in a class and someone asks a very silly question that the person can't even have the courage to ask that question in class. But you hear them in Brenner's tutorials. But prof will go back. Sometimes I used to be angry that, oh, this is taking us back, when I'm listening to tutorials. So what I just do is I jump. Like I was like Peter, I listen to the sessions, so I discuss it today, I discuss with prof, I just listen to the sessions, right? So I just jump that area because prof is probably over explaining, because not everybody is coming from the same background. There's some people who studied social science courses. Engineers are even okay because engineers can deal with numbers. There are people who study social science courses. They'll ask questions that you would think look silly. Not to call them silly because everybody has a friend, but he'll answer it. So if you're very busy like that, now I can't tell you, I can count the number of times I went for physical classes. I didn't go up for up to 7 physical classes, maybe just about 5, right? So, but then I joined the virtual classes. I was very disciplined to join the virtual class. I didn't even record the sessions, but then I had a good friend. Yesterday was always in class, right? And then I always followed prof, right? I chatted prof. Prof's like a friend to me. I chatted beyond this. So that's what I would say. You're in the right place. Take advantage of the resources you have. I mean, they've reiterated, yesterday said it several times. Take advantage of it. Thank you so much. I hope that does justice to that kind of question. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Uche and Madam Etunde.
All right. So the MBA program is just your typical undergraduate. Some of us have been to classes undergraduate, and you know how it works. Sometimes the way they set questions will be different from what you were taught in class. So academic setting is academic setting everywhere. It's the same, method that they all adopt. So just in case you are waiting that your lecturer will give you exactly the same that you were taught in class, please just just forget it. Yes, and there's somebody on the chat who is asking a question. He said when the number of years will be rounded up when it's 2 years. So like I mentioned, it's the same academics. So for example, for if you're in year 1 in a typical university undergraduate, your your year 1 will be 2 semesters, first and second semester, and it's usually a year. So the same thing also applied to the MBA program. You have breaks in between the 2 of the semester. So it's the same thing that they also use for the MBA program. So you can calculate as to when you gain admission, when you wrote your first semester exam, and when you'll be writing the same second semester exam. So for some of us that graduated 3 days ago, who convocated, sorry, 3 days ago, we started this journey November 2023, I guess. Yes. We all gained admission November 2023. I think October, November. Um, we rounded up our program the same October this year. For some of us, we were able to complete our project on time. And look at us convocating 3 days ago. So the same typical, system that they run in academics everywhere. Please, for clarification, I do think the MBA classes, weekend classes, but I already mentioned the our classes run for both part-time and full-time. I think I've clarified that on the call before now. It's the timetable that was shared on the WhatsApp blog. Okay, I don't know about this timetable. Maybe somebody else would take that. So I have Obiora and raised. I'm sorry I've kept you. I hope your hand is not paining you. Sorry. I know your hand has been up for a while. Sorry. So you can have we can have your question. Thank you, Obiora.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much. I do appreciate this opportunity, though. But then I actually wanted to go to the basics. When I mean basic, just wanted to ask because you made mention of the streams and the different badges that the lectures will be attended, like stream 1, stream 2, and stream 3. Then I also wanted to ask if at this point, um, how do we get to join these classes that is going on? How do we locate this like our course reps and the rest of the people so that because you just made mention that the timetable that was dropped there, you actually cannot confirm if it's from school or if it's authentic. Because all of us already had in mind that that is actually the timetable that is coming from the school. So how do we get to join the classes that is coming from the school? So we already know that the tutorial is basic. We know that definitely when we talk about tutorial, of course, they give the best. Recordings will be there and all that. And for the school, it's going to be a kind of a little bit dicey and difficult. So how do we go about it? Like locating this.
All right. All right. Because of time, let me quickly answer your question. So, please do not misquote me. I was only mentioning that I do not have an idea of the timetable the person was referring to. If I've seen it, I'll be able to speak to it. But because I have not seen it, so I will not be able to answer that question. Regarding your timetable, the school will communicate that they'll put it on the notice board, and your course representative will do have the timetable as well. So, for you guys that are coming in, you'll be added to a WhatsApp platform. That will be your official platform where conversation as regard class, and that is where you also do election for your representative as well. For those who want to take on leadership roles for the class, maybe you want to be the one to represent for a particular course, the executive will surely, help to facilitate that and ensure that the leadership selection is done. So once that is done, you have a representative that manage a course for a class. Some it could be two courses for full time. So if you are the one representative for a course, you'll be the one to interact directly with the lecturers who will be taking those classes. So you are going to have a timetable so everybody knows when they will be having classes and when they are not. But sometimes there could be special arrangements, like I mentioned. So everything is not cast in stone. So there are days that you're supposed to have a class to not hold, but your leadership will always come, your class rep will always communicate that to you beforehand. And is there another thing I didn't answer? So by the timetable it will be communicated, you will know they will share that with you. You see who signed it, the coordinator of the MBA will sign it. So you know that this is authentic and genuine from the MBA in your school, and then you have your classes schedule and at what time you'll be having them. So your class rep will take it further by engaging with the lecturers, and they will be telling you. So, and you can have about 4 or 5 lecturers taking a course. So once they'll take it in turn. So once one is done, the other one will come in. But your class rep will always carry you along on your official WhatsApp group to tell you when class and all of that. But since you have the timetable as well, you already know when your classes, when you'll be having your classes. But just in case there's a change, I believe your class rep should communicate ahead of time. So I hope I've been
Okay.
able to answer your question.
Yes. But then, yeah, sorry. Let me just a quick one. Like, I with the experience you've had, were you added on the group automatically, or you need to submit yourself, maybe look
So
for your.
once you complete your registration at the MBA admin office, they will tell you which of the stream you belong to, and there is already a system in place by the executive for you to be added to your appropriate stream. So you will scan a WhatsApp group. There'll be a bar WhatsApp, that you scan that will take you to your appropriate stream. And that is from there, then you can see your fellow colleague in the same stream and you guys can kick off things from. So it's not so hard, but don't worry, you get all of that once you are able to complete the registration. So
Okay. Okay. Thank you
yeah, I
so
hope
much.
I've been able to answer. So we've come to the end of the first Q&A section. We want to move to the next section. I hope you are not tired. Um, So we want to move to the next section, and I'll be inviting Emmanuel Ajibola Egunbohun to take us on insight on courses, lecturers' expectation, and management, and managing assignment to avoid burnout. Emmanuel Ajibola, you have the floor. You can have your section. Thank you very much.
Great, Engineer Peter, thank you. I hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
All right. Thank you, Engineer Peter, once again. And I also would like to thank the management of Brainers Consult, specifically Prof. Jude, for this opportunity. Um, I would also like to hail the recent graduates from the MBA school, Madam Yetunde, Mr. Uche, and even Engineer Peter himself. Well done to you guys, and thank you for blazing the trail. So I'd like to start with why you should actually choose Brainers Consult as your tutorial center. So I was actually in the 2023-2024 session initially. I remember I had an accident. It was a ghastly motor accident, and I needed to. So I started considering should I defer my admission or not. And I remember I reached out to Prof. And this is just me trying to explain to you guys that beyond just the um, academic work, Prof is actually a man that cares, right, about your total person. So I reached out to him. I was like, Prof, I had an accident. It affected my right hand, and that's why I read to it. And the exam was like a few months. How was I supposed to do it? And he was like, Emmanuel, you can still push, 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 push. But like after I consulted and all that, I decided to defer the admission. And every step of the way, he was just there, right? And he ensured that, oh, I didn't give up, right? Because it's easy to when you defer, you might just consider other things, other passion, and then decide not to come back again. He ensured that I came back again the next session, and then thanks be to God we are here, right? Speaking to what Madam Yutundi said earlier, that it can be very tedious. There are many things that would come up that you might not know. For instance, when I started the course initially, I didn't know that I was going to have an accident. So that was like more than enough reason for me to say, "Oh, okay, you know what? Let me just move on to another thing. Like I'm literally giving up one extra year again of me in school, right? So don't give up. There will be many things that will come up. It could be some might even be academic frustration from someone, but you need to also understand that you have good company. You're in good company, which is Brenner's Consult. So I'd like to also speak on structure, the structure of the courses. So there's nothing I want to say now that Prof is still not going to say to you during your tutorials, right? I know that Prof is very vast. So Prof understands even some of our lecturers. He understands their behavior. He understands how they would think, the kind of questions they would do. He can forecast the questions based on how the questions have been in the previous years. So I'm just going to be able to, what I want to quickly do in the time available to me is to break down some of the courses that you'll be doing for first semester year one, and then what the expectations are. So so part-time and full-time, you do financial accounting, which the course code is ACC 810. You do corporate financial management, that's FIN, that's FIN 8102. Then you do microeconomics, that's ECN 845. You do management and organizational behavior, which is BUS 801. And then you do principle of marketing, which is MBA 802. That's what part-time and full-time are going to do collectively. But then I think full-time would also do additional two courses, which the first additional one is quantitative analysis, that's MBA 801. And then the last one for full-time will be statistics, FBA 840. So basically, for financial accounting, the exam structure is a combination of OBJ and theory, right? It's a combination of OBJ and theory. I think it's always like 60 OBJs and then the theory part. For corporate finance, it's majorly theory, but then there's a part by the I don't want to say infamous, but the renowned Professor Lowe that has a combination of OBJ and some German-like questions, right? For microeconomics, it's 100% theory. Management and organizational behavior, also 100% theory. Then marketing is 100% OBJ. You have like about 140 questions, but then the time is always short. I think for marketing, you do the 140 questions in 60 minutes. So basically, it's always a race for time. Um, for quantitative analysis, it's 100% OBJ. Statistics is 100% OBJ and it's also computer based. So before last session, it used to be that it would be done in the university computer session, but then last year I think we did it on our laptops from the convenience of our homes, right? So for accounting, what the expectations are really, my advice would be that for accounting, try and as much as possible to attend as many lectures as you can, right? There are a lot of things that will be said in class, right? That might not be in that might just go over people's head, right? And maybe they might not even take it down, right? But when you are in class, you're able to pick it, right? For instance, I know every year there's always been that, oh, there's always like this how do I explain now? The company account, which is always the number one question and compulsory for accounting, for financial accounting. It's important to be in class to understand that, oh, I might not be able to finish it, but at least I know the structure, right? And also, I'd like to emphasize on something that Amitunde said. Starting early is important, right? Like when you start early, you have like head starts because there's a way that when exam comes up, like when the exam comes, that it becomes like you're trying to juggle a lot of things, and there's a lot of information, and becomes like there's an information overload, right? But when you start early, you're able to plan your time, you're able to plan your resources, you're able to plan your strategy on how to go about it. Now, another advice I would like to give, just this is out of the scope of what I'm talking about, is have have friends or colleagues that you guys can share resources together. Maybe answers, um, questions and answers. That's past question, right? Past question and answers, solutions, um, assignment. I'm still going to touch on assignment too, right? Because the truth is that we like an average person that is in an MBA in Unilag probably has a work or has a business that they are running. So you can't be a superman. You can't you will not be on top of everything. But when you have a community of people that can, that you guys can work together and achieve it, it makes it much easier, right? And the easiest way to get a community is when you have a tutorial center, when you come into Brainers tutorials, right? Because you see the same people week in, week out, Saturdays and Sundays. Every time you are probably sitting down with them, you see them in class, you can build a bond from there, and then just share the assignments. Now for corporate finance management, that's Fin 810. It's quite for most part of the course, right? It's quite straightforward, right? It's a calculation course mostly. There's a bit there's a bit of theory here and there, but like I said, Prof is going to demystify this for you, right? I'm trying to say the courses that Prof will take now in the tutorials is financial accounting, corporate financial management. You are going to do well in it, right? And as long as you're attending classes, right? And then me speaking about classes, I'm not just talking about your school classes alone. No. I'm also talking about your tutorial classes, right? I mean, I don't understand that a lot of us are busy. And if I'm to advise you, I don't know how public this video is going to go, the record is going to go. If I'm to advise you, it's better that you attend tutorials than school. Now, it's important to attend school, right? Don't get me wrong. I mean, some of the lecturers even give marks based on assignments, attendance, as your CA, right? But there are so many things that happens in class that goes over most people's head. I remember that. So this is just my own personal testimony. I had an A in financial accounting, but I'm telling you that there's no day when we're taking my first semester after financial accounting. I was always telling my friends that I feel dumber after the class than I was before the class started. But one thing I was always sure of is that I'm going to tutorials on Saturday, right? And Prof is going to explain it. I'm going to ask him questions and I'll get better. So it's very important, right? That even if you miss school classes, try not to miss your tutorials. And for people that are really busy, like I was trying to explain, if you can't be there physically, right, which is actually what I would advise for you to be, right? Try to join online. Shut out any distraction. Like Madam Yezude will say, close your door, just be there. For that, maybe 4 hours or 6 hours on Saturday and Sunday that you'll be using for tutorial. Just focus. You'll be better for it at the end of the day. You would see it. You see when the results start coming out, that's when you'll be like, okay, this is actually like it was worth it. It was worth the wait. Right. So for microeconomics, Mr. Uche said it's most of the tutorials, the class, your class activity. Many times lecturers are just reading their slides, right? And it's not as effective. But when you come to tutorials, it's easy to, for you to pick it. Prof is going to pick it for you in pieces, and other lecturers are going to be teaching you from in the tutorials are going to be able to, pick it for you in to the basis. For instance, I did engineering, right? So having to come um to the MBA in UNILAG, and then I'm seeing a lot of financial accounting, I'm seeing all of those things. It was just like way off my this thing. At best, you call me an Igbo man that I'm not an Igbo man, I'm a Yoruba boy, but like you just go, oh, this is just a boy that has Igbo man sense, business sense. But when I came and I was seeing all those things, it was just so confusing at first. But with the confidence you get when you come, you'll be shocked that when you come to tutorials, you'll be able to even teach some of your classmates. Because many times like I said, prof even understands their questions, the way the questions are going to be framed and are going to be put out, right? So you are almost sure that before you go into that exam mode, you have either done something similar or the exact question. I remember cost accounting that we did cost accounting in my second semester, year one. The questions that prof taught us in tutorials came out like that. All they just did was some places where they wrote maybe 11 million. They changed it. In the past question, maybe they wrote 11,000. They changed it to 11 million. Where they wrote 22,000, they changed it to 22 naira. That was just the difference. But we had done it like that, just the way it is. The same, they changed the name, but the question format was the same thing. So that's important for that. Management and organizational behavior. It's important to attend the class for this. The most of the lecturers would come to class and they are quite interactive, right? They might deviate a bit, talk about maybe Nigeria and what's happening, but it's always quite interactive. So as much as possible, try and attend these classes. And many times some of them even will tell you the kind of questions that they'll be bringing out in your exam, right, in the class. And the truth is that no matter how somebody is reporting a class to you, they might miss out some things, right? Not because they are doing it intentionally, but it just maybe goes over their head at the time they are speaking to you. But when you're in class yourself, you're able to take some notes and then write something down. Then principle of marketing. Marketing has actually it's quite straightforward, right? Because it's OBJ, and they have a textbook that you would get, right? That has a lot of questions behind it. And I know that Prof is also going to give you a past question booklet when you pay for tutorials. There's a past question booklet that Prof is going to be giving you for free. It comes as a complimentary to your payment, and it has a lot of questions from maybe as far back as 10 years, 6 years. I don't know how backdated that's going to be. So it has a compendium of questions. If you go through those questions, you most likely be able to ace your marketing without stress, right? It's quite easy, and there's also going to be there's going to be this class activity you will do where you for myself now we did traditional marketing traditional mix, right? And then we did a presentation on it. So they will tell you to pick maybe 2 businesses or 2 companies, multinationals or whatever or whatnot, and then analyze what their marketing strategy is about. It's always Professor Ogbechi. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So it's important that presentation is important because literally that presentation can determine if you get an A in that course or not, right? Because it takes a chunk of your CA, right? Because she's always like the course coordinator, so she knows how to. So she's one that is going to ascertain what the mark distribution is going to be. So it's very important to participate and then also be part of it, so that your class, your own group can get the highest mark. For instance, for my full-time set, my group had the highest mark, right? So it's always important to have that. And you'll be shocked that just maybe about 2 marks extra or 3 marks extra or 5 marks extra that you get in that presentation can determine if you will get a 65 or a 70. And if you get a 65, you get a B. If you get 70, that's an A. So it's always important to just focus on that. Then for the quantitative analysis, basically this is QA. QA is it's a lot of calculation. That's where you do a bit of application of differentiation, integration, sales theory, AP and GP, all of those. For this, Prof is an expert. He knows how he's going to demystify it for you. In fact, you don't have to have engineering background for you to you don't have to have engineering background for you to be able to ace this. You need to just attend Rena's tutorial. Like, this is important, guys. If there's nothing you are taking from this, from everything that we are saying today, including this my own session, is please attend tutorials. Please, I'm begging you, like, attend tutorials. Like, attend tutorials. Attend tutorials. I'm saying it again so that you know that this is the voice of God. Attend tutorials. It's going to change your life, right? Then the last one is statistics. The same thing. This is mostly calculation when you talk about mean, median, mode, standard deviation, and all the other things, right? Probability and all that. It's also calculation. It's important that you attend tutorials for this. Now, usually for those that don't even have maybe calculation background, usually because most of the things in first semester, right? At least the calculation ones, you require you to calculate numbers, large numbers, differentiation, integration. It's important that you attend tutorials because many times the lecturers will not have time to go deep into it. But they are going to set their questions anyways. But what the tutorial helps you to do is that when you come back to tutorials, Prof is going to break it down. And if there's anything that I know about Prof, right, Prof Jude, is that no matter what, I mean, Prof Jude is the lead tutorial for brainers. So I'm sure that we just get it right. No matter what, no matter the question you ask him, he's not going to complain. In fact, there are times when we've gone ahead, like maybe like we are already 1 hour, 30 minutes in. Somebody joins online and he's saying, Prof, why is this answer 7? Something that maybe was in the 7th minute. And Prof will still go back and try to explain, or even tell the person to call him later for them to have personal, tutorials. There are many sacrifices that Prof will do for this. So just moving away from this summary structure, which I just did. I'll speak on being burnt out. Now, the first step, right, for you to not be burnt out when it comes to assignment is join tutorials. Like I said before, it is important, right? You see that I'm emphasizing a lot of join tutorials because MBA UNILAG is actually not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about the first person that will just be running. No, you will be burnt out. You will faint. But when you are in a company of, the Bible says that when you're in the company of prophets, you become a prophet. You start prophesying. So if you're in the company of people that are like-minded, you would also you will level up basically. So for the first step I would give you for this is join brainhouse tutorials, right? Number one, you have like-minded people that you guys can bounce ideas together. There's, at first, truth is when you first get into class, everybody's looking at each other. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who to be with. You don't know the people that, you're just looking at. You're just looking at them. Everybody's looking at them. You're trying to sample each other. You're trying to profile each other. But when you're in tutorials, you see yourselves week in, week out. You build trust and rapport over the weeks and days, right? You find out that you're just going to get it right, and then you can share ideas, right? I remember when I first joined, my this session, they gave us this assignment on MBA 801, right? I didn't know the answer to it. So I went to some people's DM. Some people heard me. Some people were nice enough to, 1 minute, okay. Some people were nice enough to, answer me, right? But you'll be able to understand that. But when I was in tutorials, I had covenant friends, basically, that we then read together, study together, right? And then also, there are many times when Prof actually came through for us with assignments. But in fact, I think it's also part of the package. That when you have assignments, just send it. I think it was Mr. Uche that was saying that try to ensure that Prof is in your pin Prof contact on your WhatsApp chat, right? Because when you send him messages, he almost would always reply you, right? And then you can also just share the assignment, share whatever assignment it is, right? There are times when it might even be that somebody already has a solution. He has done the solution to that assignment. He has sent it to somebody. He can easily just share with you and just tell you what to do and what not to do. That's like what I can tell you about
burn out. Because if I tell you that, oh, get a research assistant because I know that everybody is extremely busy, right? It's not everybody that can afford it. For instance, for me, when it was becoming overwhelming, I got a research assistant because I'm extremely busy. I do a lot of things. I got a research assistant that does most of my work, right? He just does it and then sends it to me. But the idea is that sometimes those assignments, it's important for you to understand it because it might just be something that they would bring in your exam too. So if you can afford such service, get it there, but ensure that you read and study and understand the assignment before you submit it. Because many times they bring out the assignment. But imagine the pain when an assignment that they've given you then is brought in your exam or test, and then you can't actually solve it. So it's just something that I think we should pay attention to. But the summary of everything as I close is that join Brenner's tutorials, join Brenner tutorials, and then also let's pray to God, right? Because there are many people that when we started, and this is not even because we are trying to, when we started, they had to drop out because of the pressure, right? It might be work pressure, might be even bad results. Some people have missing script and all of those things. So the power of God can help in a lot of things, but also join Brenner's tutorials. Prof is going to make life easy for you. In fact, take this as a prophetic declaration or advice that if you join Brenner's tutorials, your life will never remain the same again. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. That was a wonder. Thank you for that prophetic section. Thank you so much. It was really a prophetic section. I said something, said if you're in a company of prophets, you begin to prophesy. That's a lot. In other words, your association matters in MBA school. Like I mentioned earlier, there are people you come in contact with. Majorly, well, all of us on this call we are not child, but there are people that you need to keep very close to be a source of encouragement to you as you journey in the MBA program. So please, if you have people that are doing very well in class and you've spotted them, please bring them and don't joke with Prof as well. Bring Prof very, very close. I hope you do understand me. Company of prophets. That's a lot. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And I think I must acknowledge Emmanuel for the wonderful job he has been doing. We gained admission together. We started. Emmanuel was supposed to be in my set, if not for the accident he had that period. And Emmanuel has actually been a good support system to some of the students. In my set, when we started, I remember he has done tutorial for people classes. And even when he came back and joined this current year 2 set, he has also been very helpful. I think I must, commend that effort, that selflessness on his part. That is serious leadership. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for all you do. I'm an executive and I have visibility to the activities of students in the school. So I know some people that have gone above and beyond. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. And sincerely, we appreciate some of those little kindness. Thank you so much. But please join Lira's tutorial for proper tutor. That is the only thing, that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Brilliance, we give you everything you need in MBA, from beginning to the end, all the courses. So please, very important to also know that. We want to move to our next speaker, Nwani Ifeanyi Francis, and he will be taking us to the topic impact / relevance of Brenner's consult tutorial and why it stuck out. Francis, if you are in, please, if you're on the call, please, you have the floor. Thank you so much.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Please, I hope you can hear me. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, sure, we can, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Peter. Thank you, Brenner's Consult, the prof himself, like I always call him. Prof, I thank you for this wonderful opportunity, this session that you have granted me to deliver this time and to talk about this topic on the impact and relevance of Brainers Consult tutorials and why it stands out. Well, just to introduce myself, I am Uwani Ifeanyi Francis. I'm from the medical background. I'm into pharmaceutical sales and distribution. So I want to use this opportunity also to congratulate the graduated students, those that graduated, that just convocated 3 days ago, Engineer Peter, Madam Yetunde, and Mr. Uche. Congratulations once again. And also congratulations to the new admitted students to UNILAG MBA. I will just tell you that you are in a safe place. You are in a safe place. Winners Consult is the safest place to be. So I could remember when I just started MBA, when we just started the journey, I joined other tutorials here and I was just looking for where I was going to gain this impact because I'm not from the accounting background. I don't know anything about accounting. Even when I was in SS1, that I did accounting as I think first term, I joined commercial students. I was doing accounting. The thing was just overwhelming my brain. Like I don't even know which one is debit. This one, credit. This one. Also joined other tutorials in this MBA. The thing was still the same. Debit, this one, and you hear one finance, you hear a law, you hear different things. My head was just full. I was not saying, how will I? I mean, who is going to help me? How am I going to navigate this MBA program? Who is going to be this assistant? And I reached out to one or two persons. I don't know if Engineer Peter could remember. I chatted him of that. Peter, how far? Because then Peter normally chats me up because he's the vice president of full time this MBA programs. So and I reached out to Peter and told him that Peter, please, which tutorial is going to really bring out this academic zeal in me? He said, guy, let me advise you. Look for prof. Just anyhow. As in, do you know how you tie somebody on the neck, like you lock somebody? Go and lock prof. Prof, hold and tight. I said, okay, no problem. So I now contacted prof and said that I was going to join the online orientation, just like this online seminar. I joined, I listened to what everybody said, people were on the call, I listened to it. And after the seminar, prof now delivered a lecture on finance. Hey, when prof finished that lecture, my head opened. Like, I was like, how can someone be teaching you to the layman terms? Like, you'll be understanding everything from one step to the other, from one step to the other. Immediately after the class that day, I contacted prof that please, I'm not paying for just one session, for just one semester. I'm paying for the full session. Please, how much? He told me, then I subscribed. That's why if you see on my Brainers reg number, I'm 001. I'm the number one there. So I subscribed to it. As time was going and everything, you know, you'll be meeting challenges here and there, here and there. But the thing was, we had prof by our side. Prof was always there. A lot of challenges will come. Lecturers will give you their own assignments, things that you don't even understand. But believe you me, everything boils down to where are you coming from. If you're on your own, you don't want to join tutorial, you want to do, my dear, sincerely, you will flop. You will flop. Except you are one kind of wizard that, in fact, let me tell you, this MBA is not just something that you just wake up in the morning and you want to go and do all by yourself. Sincerely, you must need helping hand. You must need those that have gone ahead, those that have sacrificed a lot, that will now come in and decided to come in to help other people. It's not about the amount that you will pay or the money you are going to spend or this one or that one, but it's by what you want to get at the end. Because of course you are going to pay school fees, you are going to pay a lot of fee and here and there. But what is that thing you are going to take back home after spending a lot of money and all that? Is what you take back home, your results that will determine. So that's why, sincerely, joining a tutorial is really going
No,
to
this
help. So
this
concerning the
noise cancellation.
cons,
I just know you were
cons,
talking. I was just saying, oh, but I did not hear a
hello,
word.
please can you hear me?
Please, can you mute? There's somebody that is interrupting. Imo. You can continue, Mr. I.
So, okay, thank you. So sincerely, there is a style that Prof normally brings in his teaching that when he teaches you and you go to bed, you'll be hearing Prof in your dream. So one time I remember when Prof taught cost accounting in our second semester, in the dream I'll be hearing margin of 50, margin of 50, margin of 50. I'll be like, so these are certain styles that people that have dedicated themselves, dedicated their time, that they want to help these students to achieve, at least achieve what they want to achieve. And Prof is one kind of person that has passion for teaching. You self that is even the student, you'll be tired. You'll be telling Prof that please, I don't want to do it. You must do it, you will do it. And you have to do it. So what my idea was they say follow who know road. I was just following Prof. I was following Prof. Me, I don't normally do online classes. I do physical class. That's why I know a lot of trainers students like Emmanuel. Me and Emmanuel will go for physical class and obviously we meet very well. So in that physical class, we interact. Even aside from Prof, now we the students there, we interact. We still teach ourselves. We bring different questions here and there. We solve it together so that we can have better understanding. So I'm just going to share us because I have little time. I'm going to share us with just little tips on how we are going to navigate these brainers and all that. Number one, I'm not talking about the total of MBA program. I'm talking about brainers itself because brainers is going to do a lot of things that you need to key into. Number one, you should start on time. Start early, like register with brainers on time, so that you're not going to miss out to a lot of things that will happen during the course. Like there was one lady in my set, she's in brainers, but she didn't register on time. Okay, second semester, she registered first semester on time, but second semester she did not, or probably she registered and was not really available. She now contacted me that, Ifeanyi, please, I need your assistance. I said, what's going on? She said, please, can you share me with all the recordings from the beginning of the semester till now? I said, we are almost close to exam. He said I should go and look for all the records. Say, fine. I know, say you get everything. I beg, share me all those. I say, contact Prof. I say, fine, you know, now, Prof, a lot of people around Prof. If I please share me everything with Prof, don't teach in accounting and cost accounting and other. And that's okay, no problem. I assisted that in doing that. So it's very good that you start on time so that at the long run, you're not going to start looking for people here and there. What if I didn't have those materials? What if those materials were nowhere to be found? That's how the person would have been, you know. So number two tip is attend classes, whether you are doing physical class or you are doing virtual class with brainers. Attend those classes and even the recorded session. Watch the recording. What me I normally do after attending physical class, during my break time at work, I still go back to the recordings of those physical classes and watch them again so that what maybe something happened during physical class I didn't really get it. When I watch them again quietly, I will understand the reason why so happened like this. You understand? So that's the second tip. The third tip is attend all assignments and classworks. Prof is going to stress. In fact, it's going to stress our brain. But stressing our brain will bring out the best results that we are all looking for. He's going to give us classwork. Please don't look at it that these things are difficult, these things are hard. Work on those classwork. He's going to give us assignments. In fact, after your first lecture, probably today, he will give you assignments. Attend those assignments, even if you pass it or you fail, even if you know them or you don't know them. Try and attempt it. Start on time. Start doing them. Start practicalizing on them, doing them. You're going to start building yourself like that. The fourth tip I'm going to share is study well at your own capacity. Study well at your own capacity and make your own notes. Aside from Brainer's notes, aside from class notes, when you are studying, you should make your own notes so that when you add Brainer's notes, you add your class notes, and then you add your own personal notes. Those things will still give you more intelligence. Number five is ask questions from prof, ask questions from other tutors, and ask questions from your classmates, people around, people in your class. Ask questions because no man's an island. If you just pay for the tutorial and you didn't really participate in all these things, You assume that you already know it. You are not going anywhere. So you should learn how to ask questions. Even if you know it, be sure. Ask questions just to confirm that, okay, this is it. Because it might come out in the exam and then you are not sure. You don't even know whether this is it or this is not it. So the sixth point is you should use every opportunity you have and then believe in yourself. Every opportunity that you hear that, please, the class is not just going to be on Saturday. There will be class on Thursday. Join that class on Thursday. There will be class on Tuesday. Try and join that class on Tuesday. The seventh point is you should stay dedicated and know why you are in MBA. Stay dedicated and have it at the back of it. It's not just that you want to come. Of course, many of us we don't know where it was even leading us to. Like we that came from medical background and all that, like if we know pass all these things, so if we know even. But believe you me, when you know the reason why you are here, you will stay focused. You have to study. You have to, because you want to achieve that thing that you want to achieve. When the first exam I wrote, the first exam we wrote in first semester, it was management. My head was just full. Like even after everything I studied and everything I did, when I entered the exam hall, you know that kind of thing that you have this fear, you have this. I now contacted Prof after the exam. Say, Prof, this exam, this management, no be small thing, no, not die. You. He say, guy, forget that thing. You be scholar now. Forget that thing. Just no worry. Go study your accounting now. Go check accounting, check finance. You know, when finance and accounting came, smashed all of them. When results were coming out, we were just getting A's, including Emmanuel. When we checked our results, we were just smiling with different A's and B's here and there. Because why? Prof gave us that knowledge. He gave us that confidence that we should believe in ourselves that we can actually do it. So Prof is going to help us in terms of assignment, even in terms of tests. When like sometimes I wanted to do economics test, we did all those things in our tutorial center because he'll be there. It's not as if he's coming to tell us the answer, but him being there and him doing certain things that he has done before, you remember a lot of things. You just have the confidence that yes, that you can do it. And there's something very, very unique about beginners consult. Very, very unique. And I've noticed that in this first semester and second semester of my year one that we just concluded. When it's now towards the time for exam, you will see a lot of other tutorial students running around to come and join brainers. Instead of you seeing the normal people that are in brainers class, you now see people to the extent that the Zoom call or which other call that we are using, maybe Google Meet or so, the capacity will be full that people cannot even join again. Because why? People have run away from their tutorial just because of what? They want to pass account, they want to make A in finance, they want to pass cost accounting, they want to pass marketing, they want to pass this one, pass that one. You see, so these are the best reasons why you have to subscribe to Brainers Consult. Sincerely, I'm a testimony. I'm not from accounting background. I don't even know anything about accounting. But today, when you bring cost of capital to me, I'll break it down for you. When you bring leverage, even if I'm sleeping, I'll remember it. When you bring anything about finance and this one, accounting, debit, this one, credit, to the extent that even in my office, we discuss account. They'll be looking at a guy. How you think? See, because I follow who know road. So please, I'll just this little times I have just to share these little tips that you please try your best and follow who know road. Tie prof neck, tie am like the way me I take tie am, hold am. You understand? So thank you very much for this time and thank you so much, Venus Consult, and congratulations once more to the newly intake. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You've done a wonderful job in the section. Thank you so much for the addition you brought on board and for the supernatural part you also made mention of. Thank you so much for that. He also mentioned about assignment, and I think 2, 3 people have mentioned assignment, but it seems the audience are not so clear as to why are they mentioning assignment. So let me just quickly do justice to that. So for your grade, you have 100 marks, and 70 is for your examination, while 30 is for assignment. So assignment could be that your lecturer will give you a particular assignment to do, then you submit. So it's easier to pass. And that is why they are emphasizing assignment, because it's the easiest things to pass. You are not going to be on hot seats. It's something that they usually take home and you'll be given a time frame to submit. So say if you do your assignment very well and you already have 25 marks, the pass mark for every course is 40. So you just need 15 more marks to scale through that course. And that is why they keep mentioning assignment, assignment, assignment. So please treat your assignment very seriously because it constitutes part of your mark. And it's the easiest way. Some courses even do 60-40. They will take the course as 40% for exam, 60% as examination, and they will take 40% for assignments. So just in case you can have 35 in that assignment, you see just in 5 mark in exam. So that's that. Because of time, we want to move to the next section. Amaka will be taking us in the next section. We'll be taking Brenner's consult tutorial package. But this is the advanced tutorial package. So Amaka, please, if you're on the call, can you please unmute? Have the floor. Run us through.
Okay, thank you so much,
Thank you so
Mr. Peter. Good afternoon or good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here. I've been on call right from the inception of this orientation, and it has really been very insightful. I've actually learned a lot. I appreciate all our guest speakers for taking out time to address us like they were very, very practical. Thank you so much for all the practical illustrations and the insights that you all have shared. I also want to say thank you to Brainers Management for giving me this opportunity to speak with the newly admitted MBA students. I also want to say congratulations to the students that just did their convocation. I wish you all greater heights. Thank you for making the Brainers Consult very proud. I also want to say congratulations to the newly admitted students. Many were called, however, few were chosen, and it's such a privilege to be chosen because I was also chosen some 8 years ago. Yeah, so I had my MBA, I was 2017-18 sets. Then there was no even online, it was more physical. There was no COVID. So online came when we had COVID. And I'll be running us through the Brainers Consult package because I'm working with the Brainers Consult. Yeah. So during my time too, I'm from a pure science background. I actually read pharmacology. Yeah, so when I came to the program, it was very challenging for me. I've never done corporate finance. I've never done accounting. There were some courses that I had never done before. So I thought during my time, when I try to come to class early, it would be better. So I remember I'll close from work very early. I would sit in front. And I would just notice that it wasn't about coming to class early or coming to class late. There was some fundamental information that I needed. And sometimes the lecturer, because of course it's a master's program, so maybe they made some assumptions and assume we should know some certain things. So they just go about lecturing, yeah. So it was so challenging for me until I met Professor Jude, yeah. And I think for me, it turned around. Yeah, it really turned around. I didn't graduate with a distinction, yeah, but at least I graduated with a 4 points, coming from somebody that just had no knowledge about social science courses. And this was made available because I gave the Brainers Consult a chance. I listened to the instructions, and of course, I attended the tutorials, and they showed me guidelines. No be person with sabi book, sabi pass Brainers MBA exams, or there are some important things you need to know. Your speed will be worked on. Some formulas you would have to have some formulas at the beck and call. Some things will be said to you. So when you get that information, that actually sets you apart. And I'm glad I did attended Brainers Consult. Hello, can everybody still hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
I can hear you. So
Yeah.
can you make me a co-host so I can mute people? You can continue, please.
Okay. So, and I just want to tell you basically about what is available so that you can make informed decisions. So, this is the Brainers Consult Tools, and we offer
Emmanuel
great
Sofowora,
services.
please, can you mute your mic? Oh, please make me a call so I can mute them directly from here, please.
Yeah, go. Yeah, well, that's gonna take you. To me, more very important.
Emmanuel Sofo, please mute your mic, please.
40,000. Enter television on.
You can mute everybody, then the speaker should unmute, please, so that we can continue.
I am not a co-host. That is why I'm requesting that I'm be made a co-host so I can do that.
Oh, yeah. 30,000 you complete. Gas in the comfort.
I think you're not the host. Please kindly mute Mr. Mala.
30,000. Blender and co.
Emmanuel Sofo, Emmanuel, can you mute your mic?
Peter, you're not the host. You can actually mute him.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
What?
You can proceed.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yes. So before I even dive into the Brainers Consult package, because I can see some people asking, how much is this? How much is the tutorial fee? Tell us. We're going to tell you. But we want to just, nobody has actually said this since I've been listening to the speakers, and it's very, very important. Now, the grading system of MBA is very, very, very unique. So you either have a distinction or a pass. And distinction starts from a 4.5 and above distinction. You collect your certificate on the day of convocation. Yeah, the world will celebrate you just like the way we celebrated most of our students that graduated with distinction. Now, if you have a 4.499999 to 2.4, it's a pass. Even if 4.499 ideally should be second class upper and all of it. No, here it's a pass. Now, if you have 2.3999, it's more like thanks for coming. You do not have any certificate. You've just, come to warm the chairs and all of it. They don't give you any certification. So there's nothing like third class. Right? So if you have 2.39 and below, we always target in the category of thanks for coming. Now, see the tricky thing. For MBA, if you have E, that's 40, it's a pass. You're not going to receipt that course, right? You pass, no receipt, no failing. If you have 39, if you score 39 and below, you failed the course. But if you have 40, E, you did not fail the course. But if you consistently have E, you cannot even make a CGPA for you to get a certificate. So it's very important that we run with that information. So some of us that, came with the mindset of making distinction, the race starts now. And the guest speakers has told us various techniques and different means that we can actually employ to make this our dream come through. Yeah. So having said that, I thought to mention it so that we can actually run with that information. So the Brainers Consult package is a very, very, very unique one. Everybody has said it. Nobody runs what we do. So we do our things based on passion, not necessarily because we want to make money out of it. So Prof, which is a lead tutor, is very passionate about MBA students. And since he started handling them, the whole the system has changed. You see many people graduating with first class, which we actually shared evidence, on the platform. Many people, finance specialization, dreaded courses, people are, smashing. having A's and co, because of the unique teaching style, because of the way we understand the MBA language, and we're able to not just understand, we're also able to transmit it appropriately. So that is one thing that actually stands us out. So our tutorial package covers your hybrid lecture. So whether you choose physical or online, it covers it. It covers the past question. We're going to give you a past question that has relevant questions in it. And you also have a past question contains answers for marketing and management, right? Your tutorial fee also covers, there is this thing we call the awoof brekete. It's something we do during the exam period. It's revision. It has to do. It's when we actually become more we intensify our lectures, yeah. So we include the weekday, we include weekend, we include night classes, So it's more like a marathon time for us, because that is when the exam is around the corner, and we feel that we need to equip our students more. Yes. So again, our online, when I mean online, like WhatsApp and all of that platform is open 24/7. You can see people say, oh, I have a question. And, I know I can always drop a chat to Prof and he would always, attend to it and all of it. Your package covers that as well. So how much is this tutorial fee? This tutorial fee is 45,000 naira to cover all of this, including the emotional support. Yeah. So it's 45,000 naira. We have installment, and we have 2 installments. So if you want to pay, take the installment cover, you're going to pay 25K. Your first installment, your second installment is 25K. So if you want to do the installment, it's going to be 50K. But if you want to do the one-off, it's going to be 45,000 naira payment. However, because you are new and we need you to experience the Brainers Consult effect, we are running a promo. This promo is starting from now, is going to last 7th of February 2026. So the first 15 people that would make payments will pay 40,000 naira. I repeat, first 15 people is just slot for 15 people. And this is going to end 7th of February 2026. So you can actually utilize this opportunity and pay 40,000 naira for all those things I have mentioned. Yeah. And it ends 7th of February. Yeah. So So I think that will be all for now. Further information will be shared on the WhatsApp platform. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so very much for that wonderful section. She has mentioned everything that has to do with Rena's tutorial, the amount of the fee you need to pay. Maybe I should also mention this. Greatness is not free. There's a price attached to it. The Bible said, buy knowledge and do not sell it. Buy the truth and do not sell it. What you are paying is just a token compared to what we get, the value we get from all of this. Brenner's tutorial, I'm a product of Brenner's. I can tell you Prof is offering value. Not just Prof, the other lecturers or teachers as well. You meet Spirit Man. That man seems to be my favorite teacher. He's so good at he doesn't use notes. He will be telling you everything in his head. The man is so in fact, I have to be very honest. It was one that attracted me to Brenner's. The first time I listened to him, I just love him. And he's so good in management. Anything that has to do with management, the man is super good. Don't worry, you're experiencing yourself. So all of those things are just, a token. How much is 45,000 naira? But I will tell you that you enjoy, you get the value for the money, and it's not something you are going to regret. All right, because of time, I don't want to overflow the issue. We have moved to the second Q&A section, and it's open for questions and answer. Just in case you have questions, do show by raise of hand. I've seen FA raised hand again. Maybe I should start with you. So please, others, if you do have a question, do show with hand. So FA, you can ask a question.
Hello, good morning again.
Good
Thank you
morning.
again for this. Please, I just wanted to ask with regards to the last speaker talking about a discount for 40K. She said it's valid till the 7th of February for the first 15 people. So I wanted to ask, what if you're able to, what if, I mean, you're able to pay that money before the 7th of February, but you're not among the first 15 people?
All right, our speaker, you have a question directed to
Does
you.
it still count for you? Is it still valid?
Amaka, a question is being directed to you. I'd like you to answer that. Hello, Amaka, are you still on the call?
Yes. Okay, so somebody is saying, what if you're the 16th person, right?
Yes.
Once you still pay
Yes,
on or
ma'am.
before 7th of February, we would always consider. We'll consider you.
Perfect. Thank
Yes,
you very much.
you're welcome.
All right, Akin, your hand is raised. Can we have your question?
Yeah, thank you for the confirmation. I was worried as well because I mean, after this session, people can just pay and be like, tomorrow is already 15 people. All right, so my question is a bit practical, right? To be honest, I joined this call when it started till now, right? And I see how we've well spoken about benefits of joining the consult, right? But what I want to ask is this, right? In terms of success rate, right, compared to other tutorial centers out there, right? How do you stand, right? Because I feel that you probably will have done that research yourself, right? And I just wanted basically a con like a figure rather that can improve, might not be a figure, right, or something that can improve decision making, right? I mean, because we've based question on qualitative, right? Like a little bit data point. Thank you.
All right, let me just speak to that. Well, I know that many people in Bernard are doing very well. Madam Newton, did you better speak? I think Emmanuel is also on distinction currently. Emmanuel who spoke before after Madam Yetunde. I'm also close. I graduated with 4.26, and I'm also a Bernard's conduct. For the statistics, well, maybe Prof can answer that question. But what I'm certain about is that you sure get value for your money. Trust me, everything that you need, further understanding of Prof will take you through them. You can always bank on that. I can assure you of that. Um, Many of us rely on tutorial to help us further understand some of the concepts we were taught in class. And I will tell you, it was never a waste of money. I did that. I didn't join Brainers in my first year, first semester, because I'm naturally somebody that can study and understand. But I began to follow, some of Prof videos, and I saw the value in it, and I key into it second semester. And I'll tell you, it was a very good decision for me. When I started year two, first semester as well as full time, it was my specialization year. I was willing to enroll in, and I did enroll in tutorial because I was a management student, and for full time, Prof didn't do specialization tutorial. But I joined Prof for the other two courses, which was computer science and strategy. Yes, strategic management. Yes, I paid for it. I told Prof I was going to pay half of the money, and then I paid. But I'll tell you that I got good value for my money. Honestly, it was just two courses out of the seven that I did with them second year, first semester. It was worth it. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. So I don't know whether it's Prof on the call or somebody else would like to, shed more light on that.
Yes, absolutely. I would like to say something. Mr. Aki, thank you so much for letting us thank you for being very authentic about your reservation. Yes, because everybody's claimed this and claimed that and claimed what have you. For me, sometimes when you have few people in class do well, maybe like one or two persons, and you carry them on your head as though you are doing well, I don't think as a consult you've done enough. So there is this slogan we usually use, we leave no one behind. Yeah. So for Brainers Consult, everybody is literally doing well. Everybody literally doing well. So it's not maybe having some people come and say this. Even some people that have graduated, maybe their first degrees as 10 years ago and all of that. So they felt, let me dust this one. Let me just come and do another thing. Some people that have even from social sciences, like they studied some courses that are not even, when I mean like, so maybe, let me just say, no courses actually irrelevant, but some courses that are not maybe calculation based or something. But because of the mode of teaching, because of the fact that you know that nobody should be left behind, everybody matters, right? That kind of structure helps us to carry everybody along. So when you see graduating students, everybody is graduating. And most people are clustered around 4 points. I graduated with a 4 points, 4.2. Yeah. You see people 4 points, 4 points, 4 points. So it's more like people are within. There was a time we even like took the statistics. Like over 90% of people, let's say 20 distinction, then the remaining people are on 4 points. So if we had the grading system of first class, second class upper, second class lower, and third class, no brainers would be on third class. Most brainers are first class, second class upper. And for them too, it's even a shock. Yes, for them too, like it's a shock that shocked you. Because you did not believe that you can even do something like this, but because of the system in place. So the system will push you to be the best version of yourself. When I mean the system, the way the tutors take the students, the way we attend to the students. You've heard people say no question is absorbed in Brainers Consult. Every question is seen and tackled, is seen as being important. And the lead tutor has been in the system for long enough. And he has actually collaborated with some other tutorials. Actually, in fact, if you even check other tutorials, the lead tutor has, in one way or the other, made impact or has even collaborated before they all went to start theirs. So not because I'm even working with the Brainers Consult, but I think no admitted UNILAG MBA student should actually pass through the UNILAG MBA without being in the Brainers Consult, because I think it's a safe place to be. And they will carry the burden of, the program with you. And of course, it will end in praise. I just hope I'm able to answer your question.
All right, thank you so much, Amaka. I saw iPhone hand raised. iPhone, can we have you before we take Adaobi?
Hello,
iPhone, do you have a question? All right, please.
can you hear me? I'm sorry, my name is not iPhone. I forgot to change it. Okay.
It's fine, no problem. You can ask a question.
So my question is, as I believe now, it means that school has started, right? So this is January. So I want to understand how it works. Does it mean that like when is first semester exam likely going to be? And then another thing I want to add, in addition to the question the last person asked, it's one thing to, like, personally, when I was a bit younger for JAM, most of us attend JAM classes. And where I'm coming from, there is a particular lecture that is just, everybody goes to this particular lecture. Like, that's what we know. You get it. There are so many lecture houses, but there's this particular one that everybody always attends. And I must tell you for a fact, that lecture house is the reason why I was able to gain admission to study my desired course. Not because I was all that intelligent, but because of the impact I got from them. You get. So, as much as Mamaka has explained everything, I would like to maybe probably see a statistics of your students, because there's no need. I'm not going to lie. I'm currently in this your section, right? But there are so many other tutorial houses that are reaching out to me. Fine, I asked somebody who's a year 2 student. She didn't even have to explain. She just typed just go to Brainers. That was two persons has told me just go to trainers, but I also need like a raw data showing me that okay, you people are actually the one. I've asked two persons. They told me one person you might not even know she's a student because she said it's only online that she attends, but that the impact is great. But I would like to actually get actual value like of my money. If yes, I'm paying for this tutorial. Just where you be passing by the road and you see some schools they post students' pictures and say, oh, this person got 350 job, all this kind of thing. If you people can give like a rundown, there's a tutorial house for this MBA that has done they've done that already. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice. But I have two friends telling me, no, if you go to brain and so you get. So apart from this section, I might not necessarily get an answer now, but I would like probably in the WhatsApp chat or something, someone giving me a road that are telling me that okay, this said we have people that actually graduated so well. We have like 10 people, we have like 20 people, and then I'll get to talk to those persons. So also give me an insight of what value you have to offer. Thank you very, very much. I have another question. My question is, for this MBA, according to what she said, there's extinction and there's a pass. So there's a 4.2 grading system. It's a 5-point grading system. So does it mean that it can only be that distinction or pass that are leaving with? Is there anything? I'm not trying to say I want to go below, but I just want to understand how it works, especially when in the labor market or you being a recruiter, is there anything, or it's just that okay, make sure you pass? That's just my question. I just hope I'm making sense. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
All right, thank you so much, iPhone. Let me just answer your last question. There are three grading system actually. There is distinction, there is pass, and there's fail to repeat. Fail to repeat, if you have less than 2.4, you're gonna retake. Anything above that to 4.49, that's pass. 4.5 and above 5.0 or perfect CGPA, that's distinction. So you can be in between, and also but those are the categories really. There are people that also have extra year because of carryover. So also ensure that that also happens to you. But at the end of the day, the overall grade will be in those three classes: fail to repeat, pass, or distinction. I hope I've been able to answer your question. Because of time, Adaobi, can you have a question that will take your iPhone?
Okay, hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to have this conversation and this orientation. I basically just wanted to have a clarity as to the coverage of the payment. Except if I didn't hear well, I expected to hear the duration of coverage. Does this amount cover for a course? Does it cover for a semester? Does it cover for a year? So that we're well informed exactly what we're paying for and the duration of its coverage. Thank you very much, Peter.
Right. So for the amount they are paying is for the semester. The price she mentioned is for the semester. So every courses that you are doing that semester will be addressed with that price. So you pay in Brenner section per semester. So if you're in first semester, you pay a fee for first semester. Second semester, there'll be another one. When you get to year two as well, fourth semester, you pay the same thing second semester. So it's per semester, not per course. Next question, Sean iPhone, can we have you?
Okay, hello, good morning, everyone.
Good
Thank
morning.
you for having us on this platform. So my questions goes like this. I want to confirm the level of the online class from a brainers. I mean the brainers at level of the online class for someone like me attending the school class is not actually possible because I work out of the eastern parts. I work in the east. So I can only rely on the online tutorial class. So I need to be sure that the online coverage will be very, very sound and delivering. So that's my question. And again, respect to the payment, can the payment be paid in maybe in 2 batches or something? Thank you.
So in terms of coverage, you'll be covered. Like I said, beginners have their recordings classes recorded, so you can always catch up with class just in case your schedule was busy at that time that school was going on. And we've mentioned that they will do justice to every courses you'll be taking per semester. So if it is that you are covered, then part-time part payment is also allowed. And I think she has also mentioned that. Said the fee is 45K, but if you are making part payments, you pay 25 first, then you pay another 25. That makes it 50K. That's if you are doing part payment. But if you are paying, single payment, it's 45. So I think she has mentioned all of this before the call. Please, do we still have other questions before we call it a day? Our time is fast spent. And please, if you are not too busy, may I kindly request that you please turn on your video. We want to have a group photograph before we end the section. Please, Johnson, you have a question? I would have preferred you.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
we'll take you for as last person today. Thank you so much. So you can ask a question before we take our group photograph.
Okay, all right, thank you. So a few questions. One is, how long from the commencement of lectures do we have till exam start? Um, I'm saying this so I can plan out my leave, exam leaves and all of that. Second is, um, so I'm done with fees and all of those things. What's the next step really? Cost form printing, getting it signed, and all of those. Is all of that handled by the admin office? I think those are the two key questions for me that I've not really been asked.
So for a semester, it should be 3 months, but sometimes it's few more than that. Classes might not start. You have a calendar, there's an academic calendar that will be shared with you as to when classes were supposed to stop, when exam is supposed to begin, when the semester is going to end, when another one will be commencing. There's always an academic calendar that highlights all of that. But then some things are not cast in stone, and then there is something on paper, there is the reality. Sometimes you follow it, sometimes there could be a shift or modification thereafter. So once you take a look at the academic calendar, you can plan yourself and know, okay, when you should be expecting your first semester exam. And concerning your registration, the processes must have been laid out to you, what you're supposed to do. Once you complete your registration and you submit what required document at the MBA at the MBA administration, they will tell you, like I mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, they will tell you whether you are in stream one, stream two, stream three, if you are not in full time, and then you'll be added to your official WhatsApp group. Like I said, they will also share your timetable, your class timetable with you, so you know when you'll be having your classes. I think I've already dealt with all of this in that section. Please, ladies and gentlemen, can we please turn on our camera? Let's have a group photograph before we call the section, before we bring it to an end. Please, if you're not busy, let's see your face. Please, can you please turn on your camera? We want it to appear very well because by the time you might see this thing on the newspaper, and if you don't show very well, just not saying that you cause them. You have to turn on your video, you didn't turn it on. So let's see your face. We are waiting for many of you that are here to do so. Thank you so much. Please do turn on your camera. Thank you so much. I'm Kodri, Bimisola, Akin, Bukola, Faithful, Arinze, Tolowani, Ezekiel. We are waiting for you. Are the one delaying our group photograph. Tosin, Abiodun, FA, your camera is here to be turned on. Royal, Orelua,
Hello, Peter.
Sarah.
Please remind them of the introductory lecture. We are having a class.
Yes, I'll do that at the closing remark.
All right.
Sarah, Johnson, Jane, Emmanuel, John, Unwani, our speaker, Ifeolu, Innocent. Please, just a minute, just turn your camera for some moment. Let's have a group photograph. I'll be taking a screenshot
Mr.
now.
Peter, please, after the picture, I want to ask a question.
All right, please, we are still waiting for some of you that are here to put your camera on. Thank you so much for your cooperation. All right, I will be taking the screenshot now. All right, thank you so very much. You want to appreciate all our guest speaker from Uche, Madam Yetunde, Emmanuel, Hamaka, If you are in, for the wonderful thoughts, the wonderful things we've had both the natural, the supernatural, and the prophetic section. There are people that have seen, they've seen things in the dream about Prof appearing to them, teaching them some lecture. All of them, they've done wonderfully well, and they've given you everything you need as regards the MBA program. I believe you have been empowered, and we are expecting that you will do something meaningful with this knowledge you have shared with you today. And we do hope that it will be fruitful. It's not going to be a waste. And then we do hope that sometimes in the future, we'll get to see some of you in person. The vice president, will be showing up in school sometimes to come and see some of you, come and say I would love to meet some of you in person. Just in case I could not identify you, please do well to say, oh, Kweteru, that's my nickname. So I like to be called Kweteru anyway, but you can call me Engineer Peter, it's fine. I would like to meet some of you in person. And thank you so much, our guest speaker, all of you, for doing a wonderful job. And please be reminded that after this orientation section, or the meet and greet section, like they call it 9.0, they do this all the time, every time they have fresh men, fresh women, enter the university program. We do orientation for them like this, and afterwards, there's always classes. They will take you some of the few classes so that you can get acquainted. And I saw they've shared some interesting Q&A section on the call as well that you can see for yourself. But after this call, you will have classes. So please do not leave the call. Just wait till Prof take the class. I think somebody still have a question. Please, can you ask your question before I then?
Okay, Mr. Peter.
But I come back tomorrow again.
All right, I'm listening. You can go ahead.
Okay, the issue I have, like trying to register online, I have not collected my original HND.
I come tomorrow.
We can address some of those personal issues at the end of the call. Maybe you can reach out to me, or you drop your question on the group.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
We will
sir.
address some of those personal issues because of time. So please do not leave the call, and Prof will be taking over very soon. I want to appreciate all of you for staying from the beginning to the end of this call. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow professional colleague, I hereby bring the orientation meeting to a close. Please do stay on the call. There's a lecture by Prof. Jude, and he's going to take you on. Thank you all so much for listening and for your attention. And I do hope to see you all sometime now and in the future. Thank you so much. Do you have a lovely day? Thank you so much. How will be exiting the meeting? Thank you so much. If you have the floor now.
And you see, I'm looking.